Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Monday, September 9th, 2024. NFL Week 1 is almost over. It's not quite over. Right now, we're watching Sunday Night Football as we record. Of course, Monday Night Football is still to come, which I guess we'll give a quick little preview for at the end of our discussions on the Week 1 recap. But all but one game being settled. About to talk about all of them. Obviously, Sunday Night Football will not be over. It literally, opening kickoff just happened, so we'll have updates, but we won't know the final score here. We also had an extremely exciting week in college football. Some huge upsets, some huge performances, a lot of moving around in the new AP poll that came out today, so a lot to talk about there. Not as much going on in the MLB, so we're just going to skip it altogether today. There's, like I said, nothing really going on in the MLB that's worth talking about. Playoff race hasn't quite heated up just yet. So over the next couple of weeks, we'll start checking in on the playoff race in the MLB. But today, football only, wire to wire. So, Colin, how are we feeling, man? Me and you just spent essentially the entire day watching football together. What are we thinking?
Oh, we had our ups and downs, but it was a great day altogether.
I don't know.
The Falcons still can't get their shit together.
Yeah, the offense was a mess, and we'll definitely be talking about it very shortly. Lot of field goals.
A lot of field goals over 50 yards.
Yeah, especially from like two people.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of field goals being kicked. I don't have a tally. I don't know if anybody has a running tally that Nathan could maybe find while we're
about 13.
While we're going, but yeah, a lot of field goals made. It's way more than 13 if Chris Boswell had 6.
Oh, fair.
Okay, order of things today. NFL Week 1 recap, and then we'll do College Football Week 2. We'll talk about the new AP poll, and then we'll talk a little bit about College Football Week 3, which is not a very eventful week, but we will talk about some of those games. Colin, are you ready to get into NFL Week 1?
I'm ready.
It's like we've been waiting on this for months. We've been waiting since February.
Months, years.
I don't know about
wait
years.
About 22 years for this.
22. Hold on. You're 23, are you not?
Yeah.
So
the first year is fine.
The first year and a couple months, you're like, I don't really care about football. And then you were like, I'm waiting for September 9th, 2024 to talk NFL Week 1. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that, man. And we'll start with Thursday Night Football. We'll talk about this a little bit briefer than the other games that happened today, but Ravens 20, Chiefs 27 in Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs get the win in a very close one, a matter of an inch, with Isaiah Likely. But I think that whole sequence there at the end was
broken.
Yeah, so broken. And just Lamar's got to figure himself out at the end of these games.
All you got to do is just look at Zay Flowers standing in the middle of the end zone.
The play before that, though, he way overthrew Likely in the end zone, and that's what got Likely hurt. And he missed that next play where he then missed Zay Flowers. And, shout out Isaiah Likely for, I'm pretty sure, dislocating his shoulder, getting it put back in place, and then getting on the field for the next play after that.
Certified dog.
Yeah, Isaiah Likely was a fucking animal on Thursday. But, yeah, that whole game was pretty entertaining to watch wire to wire.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Xavier Worthy's very fast.
Yes, very fast. Confirmed. In case the combine didn't say enough, he is very fast and usable.
Yep.
Unlike, who was it, John Brown? He was the most useless guy. Or John Ross. That's what it was, not John Brown. John Ross was so useless in the NFL.
And sort of like Jalen Hyatt, too. Jalen Hyatt sort of.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else with Chiefs Ravens? Taylor Swift was in the building, of course.
Yeah. But they had that one big play where Mahomes rolled out and found Kelsey.
Yeah.
I literally looked at it. I was like, 3, 2, 1, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Pacheco still runs angry.
I feel like that's a played out. I think some people even stopped saying that. Now the commentators say it, which means nobody else in the general population is saying
we
that.
said it first, so.
I don't think we were first, but it was definitely an observation that we had.
It was very interesting to see how the running styles between Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry would play.
I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
Especially on that first drive. It looked fantastic.
Derrick Henry looks so good.
Yeah. He's got such a great offensive line for his style of running. Because Lamar is obviously a running quarterback and a scrambler, but he likes to run up the middle. And that's, of course, what Derrick Henry likes to do. So this offensive line works really well for him, but they have to figure out where to stand. They start off that game with 3 illegal formation calls, and the league notified everybody on September 2nd that they were going to be calling that one hard. Like, that was going to be a strict one, is that all the linemen have to be, oh man, a huge sack on Jared Goff. You got like the full rule here, Nathan?
No, I have the field goals count for week 1.
Fantastic.
23.
59.
Holy
59 field goals?
59 field goals.
For 2024.
Yes, week 1.
Already.
And we still have 2 games to play.
Yeah.
Chris Boswell led with 6. 2 kickers, Blake Group and Brandon Aubrey both had 4. And a bunch of guys had 3.
Don't get me started on Brandon Aubrey. We will talk about him later.
A lot had 3 and a lot had 2.
Brendan Aubrey could have had one
record.
to stump everybody's.
Cade York, 0 for 2.
Well, actually, we'll talk about it. Aubrey did stump a lot of people's, but it got stumped itself. Okay, anything else with Chiefs-Ravens? The rule change, or that flag obviously killed the Ravens early in that game. Just absolutely killed them over and over again.
Pretty sure, I forget his name, but one guy got called 4 times.
Yeah, it was the left tackle. I'm blanking. Ronnie Stanley?
Ronnie
Is that who it is? Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, and that those happening early in that game kind of screwed them down the line, losing this game by 7. But I think Lamar's shortcomings on that final drive were the biggest part, and like he probably didn't have to necessarily I think on the last play it was really just like if he could have got his feet in, he could have got his feet in. But Lamar had to kind of put it up high.
Yeah.
So that was going to happen. But missing Zay on that one coming across the field was like brutal. Inexcusably bad.
He's just
yeah. Patrick Mahomes had like a relatively average day. I know we do this to Patrick Mahomes all the time because 20 for 28, 291 is amazing.
That interception is unexcusable.
Yeah, the interception was not great. But like I felt like they couldn't establish the run at all. Isaiah Pacheco was fine, but like 15 carries for 45 is not good. No. But like Lamar was unbelievable out of the backfield. 16 carries, 122 yards, and then likely in the air, 111 yards on 9 receptions, 1 touchdown. He had that 49-yarder that was an unbelievable run after the catch. That's what's I want to say, like with Isaiah Likely, he is personally from what I've seen of him from the second half of last year and going now into this year. I think he's one of the best tight ends after the catch other than Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's him and Kelce, maybe Njoku as well. What were you going to say, Nathan? Oh, yeah. Patrick Mahomes did catch his own pass that got batted down, and then he just, like, dove forward on it for 2 yards. Rashee Rice is playing, in case anybody was wondering.
Has a great game.
Bad guy, Rashee Rice. Likely that he won't even get any punishment until next season. Because his suit doesn't, like, I don't think he has a court date until like December. Yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah, so no justice being served there.
I saw a question about Rashee Rice. I saw this on Twitter from somebody.
Yes, please.
Is Rashee Rice the new slant boy?
He definitely runs a lot of slants.
He
also, like, that's just the Chiefs' offense outside of Kelce. Kelce goes off and he does whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah, everybody else run a slant in case Kelce's not open.
That's true, and Rashee Rice had room to run after the catch as well.
Yeah, which he is phenomenal at. Yeah. I certainly can't take that away from him. Yeah. I think overall, like, yes, the Chiefs look fantastic. I think that was going to be pretty obvious.
I forgot the Chiefs had Samaj AP run.
Yeah, that was a interesting pickup that I don't think is really going to change anything. Chris Jones was a baller. He was all over Lamar. I think that's the biggest reason to me why Lamar has so many rush yards is he was just immediately, because like Chris Jones got to him a couple times early in the game, and then it seemed like every time wherever Chris Jones lined up, Lamar was running the opposite direction immediately.
He was almost always lined up against the rookie.
And they put the rookie at right tackle. They moved him out to right tackle, and they just put Chris Jones at left end. Like, it just worked out so well for Chris Jones. But we'll leave it there with the Chiefs game because you guys have had multiple days to digest that one. We'll talk a little bit about Friday as well. Down in Brazil, Packers 29, Eagles 34. The Eagles just barely get away with it off of a late injury to Jordan Love on literally the second to last play of the game. Packers were set up for a Hail Mary. on the next play where it had happened, because Jordan Love, I think he got sacked, right? Jordan Love got sacked.
No, he didn't sack. It was a little toss to Josh Jacobs.
That's right.
Because he was about to get sacked.
Yeah, but he got rolled up on a toss off to Josh Jacobs. They got him a couple more yards, set them up for what was going to be maybe an attainable Hail Mary for Jordan Love.
Until Malik Willis came in the game.
Yeah, until Jordan Love got hurt. Luckily, I think he's going to avoid surgery. They're saying it's going to be
3 to 6.
Yeah, 3 to 6 weeks out, which sucks because that's what
it's-
everybody was looking forward to with the Packers, and like they kept themselves in this game despite the fact that Philadelphia's offense looked unbelievable.
Yeah, but this is your new franchise quarterback, so you don't want to rush.
Yeah, and you
anything.
just paid him too. I'm very interested to see if Malik Willis or Sean Clifford is the starter next week.
I'd probably go Malik Willis.
I think Malik Willis is like worse than anything you could
You think
go
he's
with.
worse than Sean Clifford?
He might be. Sean Clifford at least knows how to just like
Is Josh Dobbs
do his
available?
job. No, I think he's on a team, but I don't know who. I know he's on a team. Why is Sean Clifford's the emergency third quarterback? But yeah, I don't know.
That play by Jalen Carter was dirty.
No, that's just how you tackle. You're
Yeah.
supposed to tackle like that. I saw some people trying to accuse him.
Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon was unbelievable in his Eagles debut.
Giants fans were screaming,
Yeah.
punching.
And then they were screaming a lot more on Sunday. 24 carries for Saquon, 109, 2 touchdowns, which is unreal. And then he caught a touchdown as well, 2 receptions, 23 yards.
Which was an insane catch.
Yeah, AJ Brown got his money's worth in this game. Interestingly enough, 10 targets for AJ Brown, only 5 receptions, 119 and a touchdown, had a long of 67 that kind of picked up everything for him. Jaden Reed though was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Him and Jordan Love have an unbelievable connection. Jaden Reed, 4 receptions, 138 and a touchdown, a long of 70, and that 70-yard touchdown was a fucking nuke.
Piss off, Nathan.
You don't want to talk about Luke Musgrave, 0 for 0, 2 targets?
One of his targets was a pick, and the other one was
2 targets.
intentionally thrown to the ground. He was just in the area.
Okay. Josh Jacobs was, honestly, I would say not good. I know he had like 84 rushing yards on 16 carries, which I guess is relatively efficient, but it didn't seem like anything he did was valuable.
He was bad in the start, but the second half, he ran a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, it just seemed like a lot of his plays were not valuable. Because, like, when you got into that second half, Green Bay was down, like, a decent amount after that third quarter. And so it was just like, you got to try and climb back into this, and they just couldn't quite.
The main thing I liked is that he did really well at extending plays.
Yes, he did do a good job with that. He fumbled one. They didn't lose it, though. Jalen Hurts fumbled twice. They lost
The start of
one
that game, Jalen Hurts looked like the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, I was, like, so close to, like, dancing on his grave. Because, like, all summer I've just been like, I'm not high on Jalen Hurts, and, like, he's so overrated.
And then he
Zach Bond on the defense was
was
unbelievable. Like, he was genuinely unstoppable on that defensive line. We also saw a point where Philadelphia was certainly missing out on Jason Kelsey. You had a snap where nobody was ready for it, including Jalen Hurts. And that was I think that was the one of his fumbles that he lost, right? Or did he dive on that one? Well, yeah, Saquon had 2 touchdowns, but yeah, they were definitely missing Jason Kelsey in that moment particularly. I feel like both defenses were equally not that great. Like, they were, I think, almost very well matched, but down the stretch, Philly's defense just stepped up so well in that fourth quarter. Both teams kind of did, only giving up 3 points in the fourth quarter each, but still, it was just a great showing in the fourth quarter by the Philly defense.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to talk about this game?
No.
Okay. I know Darius Slay said on a podcast that he hates Brazil. And then, like, a bunch of Brazilian people were just tagging Darius Slayton and attacking him. Darius Slayton had to be like, I'm not Darius Slay.
That field was bad.
Oh, dude, that surface was unbelievable. Like, so much slipping.
I'm surprised someone... I should.
Well, and it's like Jordan
I
Love.
shouldn't say it like that. I was going to say I'm surprised someone didn't get really hurt.
Yeah,
And then-
Jordan Love literally did. And it was on a play where he slipped. He stepped up in the pocket, slipped, had to try and run out of it, and then like threw that desperation pass and then got rolled up on. So yeah, somebody did get hurt because of it. All right, let's go on to the Sunday matchups, and we'll start Steelers 18, Falcons 10.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, the only team so far to not score a touchdown.
Yes, the only team in Week 1 to not score a touchdown prior to Sunday Night Football, but they won. They won by 6 field goals from Chris Boswell, who also came in to punt as well. So yeah, fuck Chris Boswell and fuck Rice University where they came from.
I'm just mad we lost to Arthur Smith.
Yeah,
Jefferson.
yeah.
Cordell Patterson.
We lost to all the
Scotty
guys
Miller.
that Arthur Smith brought in that did nothing for the Falcons. That's what we just
Michael
lost to.
Pruitt.
Yep. Yeah. Literally everybody that Arthur Smith brought in that didn't work out for the Falcons went to the Steelers and then beat us. But they weren't good. None of them were. Drake London was almost useless. 2 receptions, only 3 targets, 15 yards. Ray-Ray McCloud actually had a surprisingly good game. I was pretty happy with how he played. 4 receptions, 52 yards for him. Bijan, pretty well out of the backfield. He was maybe the only consistent piece on this offense in the entire game. And yes, 18 carries, 68 yards, probably not what you want, but it was a lot of desperation running out of Bijan.
A lot of 3rd and 4th down runs.
Yeah, 3rd and short a lot for Bijan to get the first downs. But yeah, I think he recorded 5 first downs. Kirk just needs to stop throwing desperation passes when he gets hit. That's what both of his interceptions were, and a number of incompletions as well. The offensive line was unwatchable. Like, that pass protection was so
I
bad.
didn't hope we lost Lindstrom early in the game.
That's true. We did lose Lindstrom early in the game, which definitely made it tougher, but still, like...
AJ Terrell needs to quit football.
Yes, AJ Terrell was so bad. He was letting George Pickens have his way at all times.
Yeah,
It was unbelievable. Like, Nathan, can you scroll back up? No Steelers receiver did well except George Pickens, who was marked by AJ Terrell literally the entire game. It was so bad. Like, I didn't see AJ Terrell do one thing right except for when we got that stop on Najee. When him and Jesse Bates both just like pushed through the receivers that were blocking them, and AJ Terrell really didn't do anything.
No, Jesse Bates is the one that tackled him.
Yeah, AJ Terrell just kind of dropped on the ground in front of him.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that was.
wow, that tackle by Nate Landman.
Yeah, that tackle by Nate Landman to stop Justin Fields' like QB sneak after they hurried up offense, which made no sense, was amazing. Nate Landman jumping over the offensive line and just kind of pushing down on Justin Fields to make sure he couldn't sneak forward was amazing.
Hey, Nathan, add another tally to that field goal count.
We just had another field goal. What does that make it? 54 field goals now.
Rams up 3-0.
Nice. Okay. TJ Watt is just that guy. It is really unbelievable. Colin, why do you do this always?
It wasn't showing on the screen.
Yeah, but you knew it was going to be ahead.
I'm sorry.
You knew it was
I
going to be
didn't
ahead.
mean to. Nathan was going to show it.
Yeah, the Steelers' offense is so bad. And I feel like with them, it was just they couldn't find consistency anywhere. Like, obviously, Russ didn't start this game. Justin Fields was a starter. He passed fine for him, but he wasn't great. He was taking the 2 sacks that he took, 23 yards in total. They were both ones where he just runs around in circles and then somehow ends up backwards. You had...
Can we talk about that run from George Pickens on that reverse?
Yeah. Yeah.
He tried to hurdle someone and lost more
He
yards.
successfully hurdled somebody, which made him lose like 3 more yards than he was already going to. Yeah, 1 rush for him, negative 10 yards. So
But
shout
Luke,
out.
Congratulations.
Nah, fuck you.
Don't say anything or we will fight.
Yes. I already told him he's off the pod,
And
so we'll see how that goes.
We will live stream the whole thing. Fight
Yeah.
night, me versus Luke.
Yeah, but yeah, Chris Boswell, 6 for 6, hit a long of 57, multiple 50-yarders.
And a good punt, too.
Yeah, a pretty solid punt. 43 yards, a line drive, made it, unreturnable. It was pretty solid. Yeah, like we said, Steelers the only team not to score prior to Sunday Night Football, and of course they won.
They're the only one in their division that has a win.
Yeah, they're also the only team.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, Baltimore all lost.
Yes. Okay, let's talk about Cardinals Bills. Cardinals, what? Oh, yeah, no touchdown by the Giants.
I guess we just
Yeah, we skipped right over the Giants. Okay, well, that fact was not a fact at all.
scratch everything we just said.
Yeah.
This is fake news. So
Well, here, let's just combine the two sentences. They're the only team that didn't score and won. Or didn't score a touchdown and won. Okay, Cardinals 28, Bills 34. The Cardinals offense did look better than I anticipated. I'll give them that much credit. It was a lot of scrambling by Kyler out of nowhere. How many carries did he end up at? Oh, okay, he only had 5. Never mind. I guess every time I looked up he was running, but that's just because we were seeing that one on Red Zone. But really the big thing that kept the Cardinals in this was DJ Dallas getting the first kickoff return of the season for a touchdown. Set up a 2-point conversion, which made it a 3-point game late in this one. And then I feel like with the Bills, it just took them a little while to get things rolling. Like only 10 points in the first half, and then you come out and put up 24 in the second half, and you looked great on defense as well. That third quarter, shutting out the Cardinals was huge for them. But really just waiting to get things rolling until the second half, and it definitely was rolling. But I don't know if there was like too much to take away from this game. I think Josh Allen was fine. I think it's clear that he has a young and relatively inexperienced receiving core. It's not like they were dropping passes or anything. Like he really only he had like 3 or 4 incompletions. Like it really wasn't that bad. 5 incompletions. And one of them was a target to Keon Coleman that was, I think, just a little bit overthrown on the sideline, and then just had a couple other ones. But it was just like a lot of guys getting relatively long yardage on low amounts of receptions. Like Keon Coleman, 4 receptions, 51 yards. He led the team in yards and receptions. Khalil Shakir had a touchdown on 42 yards, 3 receptions. Mac Hollins got himself a touchdown out of nowhere. Even James Cook was pretty solid catching passes out of the backfield. So I think they have the blueprint here for something that will be even more explosive. And like they scored 34 points. So it was pretty good. But I think there's something here for them going forward where once they start to figure out the defense just a little bit more, because I don't think the Cardinals are really a team you should be giving up 28 to right now. But once that offense can get rolling early and be able to coast off of that in the second half, I think they'll be in a much better position going forward.
Yeah. So what's up with Marvin Harrison Jr.?
He did
one
nothing.
reception.
He was getting
targets.
locked up. It was crazy. Like, who was marking him on the Bills? I can't even think of who is their corner 1.
It's not. It's not.
No, Tre'Davious White left. Corner, Rasul Douglas and Christian Benford. Yeah, one of the two. Yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Douglas
Marvin
has
Harrison.
the 4th most interceptions since 2021.
Okay, thank you.
Behind Trayvon Diggs,
Probably Deron Bland.
yeah, and Jeffrey Simmons.
Jeffrey Simmons.
No, that's not his.
Who?
It was Falcons.
Jesse Bates?
No, it was. I'm pretty sure it's Simmons.
Justin Simmons?
Justin Simmons.
Gotcha. Yeah, he had quite a few interceptions, I
Yeah.
think, the last 2 years. Yes, DeMar Hamlin was playing. I saw him get a tackle.
How many penalties? That's what I want to know.
Flag on the play.
I do that a day.
Yeah, Greg Rousseau just getting in the backfield so easily, but also Kyler just invites you into the backfield at all times. Yeah, not much else. What? 2 QB hits, 3 sack. I think QB hits are when you hit them but you don't sack them. I could totally be wrong because Von Miller's 1-1. I have no idea. That was just kind of bullshit. I'll be honest. Let's talk about the next game though. Bears 24, Titans 17. Said that out of order, but they were in Chicago.
Caleb Williams was trash. The only reason the Bears won is because of the defense.
Yes, it was all defense and that special teams play. They blocked a punt that they took back for the first touchdown of the game. But yeah, Chicago looked horrendous in that whole first half.
93 passing yards?
Yeah, on 14 for 29. So like just over or just under 50% passing. He had 5 carries, 15 yards, so he wasn't doing anything with his legs. The team passing yards 94 yards, which I don't know how they get that number. It's always different, and I don't know how that works. 64. But it's always different. DeAndre Swift couldn't run the ball efficiently. DJ Moore had a good end around. That was really it for the running game.
What's funny is that Swift had his long of 20.
Yeah, so he got 10 yards on his other 9 carries. And the Titans' offense was almost worse, I would say. Will Levis, 19 for 32, 127, had a touchdown, but 2 picks.
Tony Pollard was great.
Yeah, Tony Pollard was great. getting workhorse snaps, 16 carries, 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 5.1 yards per carry is pretty solid for Tony Pollard, especially after what we saw from him last year. It's just both of these teams have these star-studded receiving cores, and none of them got to work. Like, none of them at all.
And I had one from each.
Yeah.
This was a brutal game to watch.
But to me, I think my first review on Caleb Williams is like, I think the pressure got to him.
Yeah.
I think more than the pressure getting to him, I think the pressure got to Matt Eberflus, and I don't know who their OC is, but whoever is making their offensive play calls, I think the pressure got to them too, because at some point they were scared to let Caleb throw because he was throwing inaccurately over and over and over again. And then on the Titans side, who also had a change in their whole coaching staff as well as their offense coordinator, Brian Callahan brought along like a short passing offense from the Bengals that is so different from what Will Levis was doing last year, which was hand the ball off to Derrick Henry or throw the ball 40 yards down the field to DeAndre Hopkins. This time he's trying to throw short passes, and he completed 19 passes, but he only had 127 yards. It's 4 yards per attempt, and you've just got like nothing going for him the entire game. And I feel like he just didn't react very well to the changes. He was throwing relatively inaccurately for throwing short. And then, the flip pass that he did while being sacked there late in the game, which ended up cementing the loss on a pick six, like just brutal all the way around, really on both sides. This was a relatively bad game to watch. Yeah. 2 defensive touchdowns, a special teams touchdown for the Bears.
Yeah.
And then a field goal.
Simone Biles' husband went insane.
Yeah, got the scoop and score on the blocked punt.
Is it boyfriend or husband?
Husband.
They are married?
I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Her significant other.
Her partner.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we can move on from this one, though. There's really not much else to say. He looked bad. By he, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes, Will Levis. Okay, Texans 29, Colts 27, an AFC South showdown that we were all looking forward to.
Bang out.
Yeah. Wait, what? A what?
Bang out.
That
You've never heard that term before?
no.
Nathan,
The basketball thing?
Yeah.
I haven't watched basketball in a long time.
Come on, man. Get with the program.
And you're on my program.
Only two
You are literally on my program. Don't tell me to get with the program.
Okay.
Talk about Anthony Richardson real quick.
I think we should let Nathan talk about Anthony.
Yeah, he is Nathan's fantasy quarterback. You're probably going to have fantasies about him tonight.
This dog.
After
Fortunately,
saying
he
you're
went
gonna
to Florida.
fantasies.
But other than him going to Florida and getting destroyed last year and injured, he looks great. He was called AR-15 for a reason. The kid has an absolute arm and a half.
Colin just showed me a stat from the Rams game. Cooper Kupp has 5 receptions for 25 yards. He's going for 5 every time.
Yeah.
Continue.
Anthony Richardson only completed 9 passes for 212 yards.
Yeah.
That is insane. One of those being an absolute just
Rocket.
monstrous throw
Yeah,
of
54
yards. I think
60 yards.
I think it was like 56 in the air.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Unbelievable.
And I think he was moving when he threw it.
Yeah.
It seems like Alec Pierce
Crazy.
caught more than one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce
No,
was
he
just
does
down
this.
there.
He does
this.
Yeah.
He'll have 2 of these games all season.
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson was giving him the Tyreek Hill treatment of just chuck it up there. He's down there somewhere.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman Jr. was getting locked all game.
Yeah.
8 targets, 4 receptions.
All game. But Ashton Doolin getting 1 reception for 54 yards and a touchdown, just unbelievable. His only target of the game. And, dude, I feel so bad for A.D. Mitchell. He got overthrown on like 3 touchdowns. Dude, there was like multiple passes where like he could have gotten a touchdown or he could have got like significant yardage. He just got overthrown by Richardson, which is just going to happen. But AR also running super well. But I got to show my respect to him. He only ran 6 times. That's like that's good growth by Anthony Richardson to not be running that much. So we're going to talk about another young quarterback that was running a lot. But 6 carries, 56 yards, 1 touchdown for Richardson. And then Jonathan Taylor, the only other person to get carries, had 16 carries for only 48 yards and a touchdown. So not an efficient day for Jonathan Taylor. Didn't really get any looks in the passing game either. But on the Texans side, man, their offense in the running game, especially the new acquisition, Joe Mixon, running shit, literally. 30 carries, 159 yards, and a touchdown. Just unbelievable for Joe Mixon in his first game in Houston. Like, he was never getting that bulk.
No.
And you never would have thought that he would come to the Texans of all teams and get that kind of bulk at running back.
Exactly.
It's unbelievable.
With C.J. Stroud still throwing 32 passes.
Yeah, and like CJ did not have a bad game at all, but like think about it. Between just Joe Mixon running the ball, he had 30 carries, and then CJ Stroud makes it 62 plays between just CJ Stroud throwing it or Joe Mixon running it. That's unbelievable. And then you throw in
the Colts 41.
Yeah, and then you can, throw in CJ Stroud running the ball 4 times and 66 times. 66 times those guys were the two involved. But yeah, CJ Stroud 24 for 32, 234, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He did get sacked 4 times. The Colts up front looked really good defensively. It's just the secondary just wasn't quite there.
Looked insane.
Yeah. Nico Collins had a great game in the receiving game. Of course, 6 receptions, 117. Still, obviously, his primary target in the open field. But Stephon Diggs, very much the red zone and short yardage target.
Welcome to Houston.
I guess he wanted to be, which I feel like this version of Stephon Diggs would have been great in Buffalo in this new offense. I don't know what the deal is. But Stephon Diggs, 6 receptions, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. So doing it when it matters. And then Tank Dell, not the best day for him. 3 receptions, 40 yards, had a long of 23, but he had 7 targets. Yeah. But yeah, CJ Stroud doing a good job spreading the ball around a little bit. I will say, neither quarterback had like the game of a lifetime. But there was so many outstanding plays. Like we saw CJ Stroud like running across the field, throwing across the body, off balance, hitting Nico Collins, like coming back on a route. Like you had so many huge moments from both of these quarterbacks that like this is going to be the kind of matchup, especially being in the same division, we're going to be looking forward to 2 times a year, every single year for so long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to, I would say, a more boring game, even though it was close all the way to the end. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we totally forgot. The Colts lost, and like we promised, every time the Colts lose, we got to play the song. Hit it, Nathan.
For the shoe.
Yeah, he's got to say you. Got to say we love you. It rhymes with blue. It rhymes with shoe. Got to say it. Was Nathan's mic muted? And so me and Colin look like absolute idiots. Me and Colin look like absolute idiots on the video now because Nathan's mic was muted while he played that audio. So now we're just going to, yeah.
This is our team. We bleed blue. This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them. For the shoe, beat the Jags. This is our team. Go Colts.
Nay. That's what he does at the end of them. Nays. Okay. Well, Nathan fucked up, but this is our Colts. We bleed blue. We love the Colts.
I was not expecting the nay.
Yeah. Just wait for the one time this year that we play the Keep Pounding song for the Panthers when they win.
You mean next week?
Definitely not next week. Okay, let's talk Jaguars 17, Dolphins 20. Tua was fucking airing it out. Oh, Sam Laporta.
You got to bring that in, big dog.
Damn. That was a close one. I think it was third.
Yeah, that was third. They just kicked the field goal.
Put another field goal on the board. Nathan, we might have to put up a field goal counter at the end of this week.
Should we just
After Monday Night Football, we'll just
season?
post. Okay, yeah, let's do it. That's your job.
Yeah, you got it.
You're keeping track of the field goals. Perfect. All right. Jaguars 17, Dolphins 20. Tua was airing it out.
In the second half?
Yeah.
First half, he sucked.
That is true. He did look really bad. And the Jags took a 17-7 lead heading into halftime. Tua ended the game, though, 23 for 37, 338, 1 touchdown, no picks for him. Got sacked 3 times. I will say Jacksonville's defensive line starting to kind of bring things together finally after a couple of years of drafting some good talent. Surprisingly, Miami could not run the ball. Did not matter who it was. Raheem Mostert, maybe one of the worst performances of his entire career. Like, he was awful. Six carries, 9 yards, nothing else. And he had a long of 6, so he got 3 yards on those other 5 carries. Devin Achane also, I wouldn't say it was a bad game because you got to factor in his receiving, but rushing-wise, only 10 carries, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Super inefficient. Got the touchdown, which kind of saved him, but it's really about the receiving for him. I think he had 75 receiving yards.
Yeah, but flip it over Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, Tank Bigsby taking up, well, not even taking up the snaps. He got the same amount of carries as Travis Etienne. Tank Bigsby, 12 carries, 73 yards, didn't get any touchdowns because Etienne was getting all the touches when Bigsby would get them to the red zone. Then they would just give the ball to Etienne. It was crazy. Yo, what is that? Nah, that's crazy. Little ass Kyler, bruh. That's Kyler running home to go play the Call of Duty beta before it's over. Yeah, Mostert looked awful. Achane kind of redeemed himself in the receiving game. But, yeah, Bigsby and Etienne splitting carries and then Etienne just getting the ball in every high-leverage situation. Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, of course.
Just did their thing.
Yeah, 7 receptions, 130 for Tyreek, 1 touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 5 receptions, 109. Devin Achane had 7 receptions, 76 yards. And then the next was Raheem Mostert, 2 receptions, 10 yards. But all 3 of the top guys on the Dolphins outdoing everybody on Jacksonville. Gabe Davis led the way, 3 receptions, 62 yards. Brian Thomas Jr. got his first career touchdown, 4 receptions, 47 yards.
Really
Probably
game.
one of the better performances from the rookie wide receivers that we've seen this week.
Xavier Worthy.
Well, yeah, Worthy had a touchdown, but he didn't have very many yards. I think he had 2 receptions for 30-something-ish yards and 1 touchdown. But he had the rushing touchdown, I think. Yeah, Christian Kirk, 1 reception, 30 yards. The Jags don't excite me whatsoever on offense.
Gotta find a way to get Evan Ingram so much more involved.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I do think that Miami probably came into this game thinking that is the guy we need to cover.
Yeah.
Because last year he led this team in receptions by a large sum.
Also, Christian Kirk. He's a phenomenal wide receiver. One reception on 4 targets.
Yeah, I think it was just more of a matter that Brian Thomas Jr. was finding himself open more than Christian Kirk, but it's just how it's going to go. Christian Kirk was getting shadowed by Jalen Ramsey all game, so that definitely makes your job pretty hard. Durham Smythe, 3 targets, 0 receptions for Durham Smythe. Nice. And Braxton Berrios, Alex Earl's boyfriend.
Luke's very high on him this year.
Yeah, Luke is high on Braxton Berrios, so it's a hot start for Luke. Travis Etienne lost a fumble. Anything notable defensive-wise from this game? I don't necessarily think so. 3 sacks to both
Jalen
sides.
Ramsey was getting cooked by the rookie,
Yeah?
Brian Thomas.
Okay. Also, totally forgot Devin Duvernay was on Jacksonville. That is one of the nice things about week 1 is you just see guys you can try and figure out where everybody went, but you're never going to get it.
No.
Never. Braxton Berrios didn't even do a good job returning punts. Also, since when did Tyreek Hill actually still return punts?
Interesting.
He had 1 punt return for 11 yards.
Listen, he was playing with a vengeance. Today.
Yeah, he got arrested before the game. We haven't even talked about that. Yeah, Tyreek Hill got
detained.
well, not arrested, detained. He got pulled over for I think it was speeding, some kind of traffic violation, and then I guess he got into a little bit of an argument with a cop, which he was driving to his game that he had to be at. So I would probably be a little bit aggressive towards them. And look, we know that Tyreek Hill is a bit of an aggressive guy in public, as we've seen regularly. But obviously got into some kind of argument with this police officer, which ended up, calling backup, take him out of the car, put him on the ground, which was a questionable move. And then I believe somebody was on him, holding him down, which did not look good whatsoever. The cop that was responsible for it has already been placed on leave. So that's also another sign that something was awry. But Tyreek Hill got out totally, unscathed, theoretically or physically, I guess, and played this game, played phenomenal. and also did a celebration where he was getting handcuffed, which I am assuming will be fined for.
Oh, 100%.
Shout out the punters though.
Logan Cook.
Yeah.
Day.
Yeah,
So did
Logan
Jeff
Cook
Bailey.
cooking. I had to. Both of them landing 3 within 20. I don't know why we're talking about punter stats. Let's talk about the Bengals Patriots. Actually, no, let's keep talking about punter stats. Patriots 16, Bengals 10. Ew. This game was so bad. Like, I knew that the New England offense was going to be bad. And 16 points is bad. Ramondre Stevenson, the only thing that looked good on the field for the Patriots, outside of the defense, I guess. But holy shit was the Bengals offense garbage without Brian Callahan, offensive coordinator. I don't know who their OC is now, but he's on the hot seat because the Bengals should not be putting up 10 points to a Patriots defense that has been depleted over and over and over again this offseason. Joe Burrow was 21 for 29, 164. Like, he wasn't even throwing incompletions. He didn't throw any picks. They just weren't throwing anywhere. Like, they couldn't find Jamar Chase whatsoever. Obviously, T. Higgins was out for this game, so he wasn't an option. But it's like, what are we doing? Honestly. Also, no Jermaine Burton. I think he was hurt as well. So, Andre Yosivas, I think is how they were saying on the broadcast. Yosivas was essentially wide receiver 2, which is crazy. He's really a special teams guy. And then, like, Tanner Hudson and Mike Gesicki were just lame excuses for tight ends in this game. Chase Brown was essentially useless in the running game and the passing game. Same goes for Zach Moss. Trent Irwin is as useless as ever. And I don't know who the fuck Charlie Jones is. So there's all the guys that caught passes for the Bengals. Second-year player out of Purdue. Well, that's why I've never heard of him. He played for Purdue, and he's a white wide receiver. Yeah, like, the Bengals just could not move the ball. And, like, New England couldn't throw the ball. Jacoby Brissett was awful, in my opinion. 15 for 24 doesn't look that bad, but it was like his misses were misses. Like, big-time misses. So, yeah, and shout out Ramondre Stevenson, though. Like, I know I already said that he had a good offensive performance. I don't know if good quite encapsulates 25 carries, 120, and a touchdown. But he was clearly the focal point of this offense, and the only reason that they won was Ramondre Stevenson's performance.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, the Patriots get away with the dub. And
A lot of fun.
yeah, a lot of fumbles by the Bengals. 3 times that they fumbled, 2 times they lost them, and both of them being guys that caught the ball, which certainly
Charlie
didn't help.
Jones, man.
Yeah, that idiot, whoever he is. Keon White having a day on the defensive line for the Patriots, second-year player. He was a guy that I thought was primed for a breakout. We didn't really get to see a lot of him just because the Patriots had pretty good talent on the defensive line over the past year, and now, especially with the trading of Matthew Judon, Keon White gets a chance, and 2.5 sacks in his first game is fantastic. Not much else to talk about here, Patriots Bengals wise. It was just kind of a dud, honestly.
Not a good game to watch.
No, I definitely didn't anticipate the Patriots doing that, but it's not like they look good. It's not like they surprised me. It's just the Bengals were surprisingly bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Ryan Reckow, the punter for the Bengals, had a long punt of 80 yards. That's crazy.
His leg has to be tired.
I would assume he got a touchback on that, which isn't even that rewarding. That's not what you want to do.
Yeah. Nathan, can you go look see how many points he had in fantasy?
Yeah, feel free. Oh, yeah, we do punter points now in fantasy, which I personally don't like, even though it got me some good points. I had the Denver punter, which worked out in my favor, but I'm not a fan of trying to keep track of it. That's the biggest thing. I like to have a break when special teams gets on the field. Oh, he had 6.66 points. That's it? Wow. Oh, yeah, because he lost 2 from the touchbacks. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that stat. Okay, enough of that trash. Let's talk probably arguably boring game as well. Vikings 28, Giants 6. I guess the Vikings offense was pretty fun to watch.
Baby.
Yeah, Sam Darnold has arrived. And honestly, his stats weren't unbelievable. But 19 for 24 is great to see from him. 208 is fine. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Only got sacked once, which is great. Aaron Jones, though, just taking the brunt of the work. 14 carries, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. I said it in the offseason. I knew he was going to be in this this unique situation he's never really been in, where it's like he is clearly the guy. Like, yes, Ty Chandler's there, but he's not as important to this offense. Aaron Jones was the focal point and played like it and looked like it. Like, it was a very good game for him.
Yeah, he looked really good.
And then on the Giants side, good God, could they not get anything going? Daniel Jones, 22 for 42. First of all, Daniel Jones should never be throwing 42 passes in a game. But 22 for 42, 186, no touchdowns, 2 picks, and he got sacked 5 times. Just unbelievable. They couldn't run the ball. Devin Singletary was practically useless. Nobody else is even worth giving the ball to. Daniel Jones couldn't really do anything with his legs. Wan'Dale Robinson on some kind of end around got 14 yards, but that was like the best play of the game for them. Malik Neighbors had a decent day, all things considered. Even though Daniel Jones was bad, Malik Neighbors still got 5 receptions, 66 yards in his first game. So not too bad of a day for him, but yeah, Wan'Dale Robinson got 12 targets and had 6 receptions for 44 yards. That is so bad. And on the Vikings side, like Justin Jefferson still got a touchdown. Jalen Naylor, the tight end who's filling in for Hawkinson, got himself a touchdown. But nothing crazy in the yards department for the passing game on the Vikings. I'm going to be honest. Like Neighbors, like I said, he looked fine. Not a lot of offensive rookies really caught me by surprise this week. I was expecting some big arrivals by some of these guys, and just, obviously when 3 of the quarterbacks that were going to be starting are already not starting, or 3 of the quarterbacks that would have been aren't starting, in Drake May and then J.J. McCarthy, who was injured, and then obviously Michael Penix was benched as well. When those 3 guys don't start, and it's really up to Bo Nix and Caleb Williams, and Jaden Daniels was pretty fun to watch, but not exactly his best game. It was kind of a bummer offensively. Nathan was pointing out on the screen, Jalen Hyatt, 1 target, no receptions.
Useless.
Yeah, just because Daniel Jones didn't even have time to do anything. Like, I thought the Giants made 2 fantastic moves this offseason on the offensive line, and they still did nothing for them. Like, it's crazy.
But let's go to the defense. My boy, getting his first sack in the NFL.
Yeah, Dallas Turner. Dallas Turner doing work. He got a sack. Pat Jones had 2 sacks. Andrew Van Ginkel had a sack. It was
Van Ginkel also had a pick 6.
Yeah, he also had a pick 6. Pretty solid day for the Vikings. Definitely better than you probably expected if you're a Vikings fan. Okay, let's move on to the next one, though. Panthers 10, Saints 47. God, this was weird because the Saints offense wasn't really that good. It was just they were in great field position at all times. Like Derek Carr, 19 for 23. Fantastic for Derek Carr. The biggest stat for Derek Carr, didn't have to leave the game due to injury. He had 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, only got sacked once, and it was only for 1 yard. Like, he looked pretty damn good. Probably the best we've seen him since, like, some of those good games that he had in his last year in Vegas. Alvin Kamara ran the ball just fine, 15 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Even Jamal Williams got himself a touchdown instead of waiting until the last week of the season like last year. What were you say, Colin? What do you have to say about the Saints offense?
Saints offense is pretty good.
Thanks, man. Rashid Shaheed, 3 receptions, 73 yards, 1 touch. I thought you had some. You kind of stuck your hand out. I thought you were trying to interrupt me.
No.
Okay, nothing. All right, Rashid.
Just wait till we get to the Panthers offense.
I'll let you go in on the Panthers offense, but Rashid Shaheed, a pretty solid game, had that 59-yard touchdown to open things up for the Saints, and then just kind of coasted for the rest of the game off that one. But Foster Moreau with a big touchdown as well.
Olave with only 2 receptions is insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
kind
of
insane.
Why? J.C. Horn.
Yeah, J.C. Horn was probably shadowing Olave the entire game. There was nobody else to deal with him because they traded Dante Jackson to the Steelers. Wish Bub Means got some more work. 1 target, no receptions. But, if Olave is getting 2 targets, then I understand why Bub Means is getting 1. Juwan Johnson had a solid game, too, getting himself a touchdown as well. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say about the Saints. So, Alaway Taylor. Holy fuck, 3 sacks. Or Alante, sorry, not Alaway. Alontae Taylor. Crazy game. Colin, I'll let you go rampant on the Carolina Panthers.
It's mainly just one player, just Miles. Fucking Sanders.
Hey, 4.4 average yards is not bad for him. That's like 2 more than usual.
I hate Miles Sanders.
Yeah, I know. Well, Bryce Young didn't look good either. I know you don't. I know you don't want to shit on Bryce Young, but 13 for 30,
I
161.
shit on Bryce Young because the first fucking play he had of the game was a pick.
And it was a bad one too, like a real miss.
Not even a receiver in the area.
No,
straight to a defender over the
a
middle.
real miss, and that kind of just ruined the Panthers for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Still scored a touchdown, unlike the Steelers, but
We did
they
get
lost.
to see some good things of Xavier Legette, though.
Yeah, he looked fine. I would say. I wouldn't say it was great, but he looked fine. 4 receptions, 35 yards. But the 7 targets, but also, it's Bryce Young kind of throwing some desperation passes as well. So you always have to take that into account. Almost nobody's going to have a perfect day if you're a Panthers receiver.
My boy Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah. He looked pretty good. 2 receptions, 40 yards. I kind of wish, so I said, and this question will not be answered yet, I said on the podcast on Friday, what are we going to do if Bryce Young just goes off out of nowhere? Like, what would our reaction be? We aren't going to know because it didn't happen. But I'm waiting for that
wait
day.
till next week.
There's going to be that day. Who do the Panthers play next week? The Chargers. Oh, there's a chance.
And then the Raiders and Bengals? That's 3 games.
There's a big chance. And the Bears. The Bears' defense
The
was
Falcons.
really good. Falcons' defense was good.
Yeah, but
Commanders could definitely be a chance for Bryce to go off. Giants.
Ooh.
Dude, they got to run the gauntlet. Fuck. Yeah, definitely not going to happen in the second half of the season. But Bryce Young could just randomly show up with 300 yards. Don't be surprised. But also, I will be. Anything else to talk about? Honestly, the Saints really weren't that amazing. Like, Blake Grupe had a shitload of field goals. I think he kicked 4 that Nathan said earlier. But, the Saints weren't amazing. It's just the Panthers were so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Raiders 10, Chargers 22. Just a fucking shit show. I hated this game. Might have been my second least favorite game behind New England and Cincinnati. J.K. Dobbins, the only useful part of the Chargers offense today. What are you doing? Why are you scrolling all the way down to Cameron Dicker? He's not on the offense. He's a special teamer. So we'll talk about him last like he deserves. Justin Herbert had a shit day. 17 for 26 is fine. He's also still nursing this injury, but 17 for 26, 144, 1 touchdown, no picks, 1 sack. But J.K. Dobbins, 10 carry. What?
Sorry, keep going.
What?
It just caught me off guard. I'll tell you later.
No, tell me now.
No, I
What?
can't.
What?
Just keep going.
What?
I'll interrupt then.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins had 4 rushing yards in the first half.
Yeah, and he ended with 131 more. Yeah, 10 carries,
He rushed for
135.
131 in the second half of the game,
Yeah,
On
well,
one run, he had
61 of
61.
them. Yeah,
which still means he had another 40,
yeah.
which is, way more. Another,
Yeah.
60, 70?
Shout out J.K.
Toppins.
Dobbins?
Yeah, shout out
That's-
Obi Toppin.
Who we talking?
What the fuck? Touchdown as well for J.K. Dobbins.
Uh-huh.
Gus Edwards did nothing, just like we like him to. Shout out to Gus Bus, though.
Why he's on my
Give us a lot of content last year. Shout out to Gus Bus. Receiving wise, obviously nobody did anything because Herbert didn't do anything, but Ladd McConkey got his first career touchdown. 39 yards for him, 5 receptions. Definitely some small ball here for the Chargers, but yeah, Quentin Johnston cemented wide receiver 2. Joshua Palmer cemented, ejected from this game. That was the most productive thing that he did all game, was getting a fight so that him and Jack Jones both got ejected. That was the most productive thing he did. And the Raiders, I don't know what they did productive. Throw to Jacoby Myers. That was the only productive thing that happened.
3 times.
Yeah, and it worked just about every time. But how did the passing game look from Gardner Minshew? 25 for 33 isn't the worst. 257 is not that bad, but 4 sacks, 32 yards is crazy.
He
8
spread the
yards.
ball around, but Devontae Adams has got to get more than 6 targets.
Yeah. Brock Bowers shouldn't have 8.
No,
I'm sorry.
Devontae Adams is a guy who needs minimum double digits every game.
Yeah. But also, like, if they've got Asante Samuel Jr. and somebody else double teaming him,
Derwin.
yeah, Derwin's probably on top of Devontae Adams at all times. Yeah, they couldn't run the ball either. Shut up. Zamir White, 13 carries, 44 yards, was abysmal. Alexander Madison sucked, except for in the receiving game. Yeah, actually, scroll down so we can talk about Alexander Madison. Yeah, he had that one reception for 31 yards and a touchdown. There was a fantastic run after the catch in the flat. But he didn't do anything else as per usual because he's Alexander Madison. Brock Bowers, not a bad debut for him. 6 receptions on 8 targets, 58 yards. Michael Mayer did nothing. Nothing really else to talk about here for the Raiders. They were just really bad. Anything else to talk about with this game? Joey Bosa looked pretty good, so I think it was a good decision for me to clean the slate on Joey Bosa.
Welcome back, Harbaugh.
Yeah, welcome back, Harbaugh. Got a win. Shout out Poona Ford with the interception. What?
Cameron Dicker had a great day.
Yeah. Oh, Daniel Carlson had a super near miss field goal early in the game. Yeah. Cameron Dicker. Are you happy, Nathan? We said his name. Dicker the kicker.
Is that your kicker? No.
You just like that he kicked 3 field goals? That's true. He was perfect. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the 4 o'clock slate, I guess. Yeah. That was the 4 o'clock slate. Well, let's continue the 4 o'clock slate. Broncos, Seahawks.
Woohoo.
Broncos 20, Seahawks 26. The Seahawks win that one, but honestly, okay, let's just talk about the Broncos offense. It confuses the fuck out of me. What? Make any sense of this. There's so much short passing for Bo Nix. 26 for 42, 138.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
No touchdowns, 2 picks. So, like, how was he even throwing picks? The defense couldn't even get to his receivers before he threw to them. Devon Vele had 8 receptions for 39 yards with a long of 9. How the fuck does that even happen?
Yeah.
And Cortland Sutton, I don't know what the hell was going on. I don't know if Bo Nix was missing him, if Cortland Sutton was just dropping balls thrown right at him. 12 targets, 4 receptions for 38 yards.
That's bad.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, they had 2 safeties. Yeah. Yeah, it was 8-9 at one point because the Seahawks kicked field goals. Yeah, dude, it's like a hockey score. It's like a blowout in hockey. Yeah, Cortland Sutton was so bad. And, like, also the Seahawks just, like, didn't look right. Off rip, Geno throws an interception, and, like, that ruined them for the rest of the game to me. Like, obviously they turned some things around, scored 17 points in the second half, but they just didn't look right outside of Kenneth Walker. He looked right. 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown for Kenneth Walker. A good bounce back after a pretty down year last year.
Bad first half, too.
Yeah, bad first half.
He had 11 rushing yards in the first half.
Damn.
And 1 reception for -2 yards.
Yeah, and if you look at the score sheet, you wouldn't know that DK Metcalf got thrown at a lot because he only has 4 targets, but it's because every pass that got thrown at him was just a defensive pass interference on Pat Surtain.
Yeah. He had a couple offensive pass interference, too.
Yeah, that too. But he only had 3 receptions, 29 yards, while Tyler Lockett had 6 receptions, 77 yards. And he actually got the reception that sealed the game one-handed, like around the corner as well. It was a pretty impressive play right there from Tyler Lockett to get the first down and give him the chance to kneel out the clock. Geno Smith, once again, he's on fraud watch for me.
Put in Sam Howell.
I want to see Sam Howell very soon, in my opinion. I know 18 for 25 is really not that bad, but the way that game started, you just can't start like that and expect to beat teams that are better than the Broncos, which is 95% of the league.
And also, why is Jaleel McLaughlin leading in carries?
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me about the Broncos offense. I don't understand it. I've got some questions for Sean Payton if you'd like to answer them.
And little Jordan Humphrey getting a target up there.
Yeah, shout out Lil Jordan. Maybe you need to be Big Jordan next time. Catch the ball.
Yeah. Also, where did Devon Vele He came out of nowhere. You never heard his name in preseason.
Yeah. Well, I knew him from Utah, but he was pretty good at Utah. But he was a 7th round pick, so nobody was ever going to talk about him.
Fair.
Everybody else was talking about Troy Franklin. Where is he on the score sheet?
Did he even play any snaps?
He did.
He did?
Didn't get a target. I think was he returning kicks? Is that correct? No, Marvin Mims was. Maybe he didn't play then. I saw his name on the screen at some point, so I assumed he played. Maybe they were saying he was inactive. I don't know. This was another game that we just only really watched on Red Zone, or just like randomly turned on, but we were paying attention to a different game.
This game, I was mainly paying attention to Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, and that's fair. Okay, let's move on though to America's Game of the Week. Tom Brady's debut in the booth. I thought he was
Not great.
Yeah, I don't think he was very good. Thought he was
very monotone.
Yeah, pretty monotone. His voice didn't sound like I'm used to hearing his voice. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, sounded different.
Yeah, like his inflection just kept changing throughout the game. Whereas like an experienced guy like Kevin Burkhardt, who of course his job is to talk.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's job was throw touchdowns, win Super Bowls. But like Kevin Burkhardt, consistent all the way through the broadcast, and like Greg Olsen likes to show emotion in the booth, and like yeah, he'll kind of like get excited and then just come back to earth. But like Tom Brady sounded like 4 different people in the booth. Like it was so weird, but obviously, look, it takes some getting used to. I understand, but I do hate how big of a deal it was. I get it. It's the greatest football player of all time. Fox backed up a Brinks truck in front of his house to get him to do it. Like I understand that part, but also like we don't have to have a fucking stroke off for it, bro. Like come on.
Hitting ski poles.
That was crazy. Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy. Sorry, Thrash. That's insane. Just wait until he starts bringing his dog in the booth. The people are gonna have a hissy fit, bro. He better not bring a dog in the booth, or he's gonna be sending out Kirk Herbstreit tweets all weekend, bro.
All right, back to football.
Yeah, let's just immediately talk about Brandon Aubrey. I know we said special teams could talk about last.
71 fucking yards.
Yeah, okay, so going into the half, you're up 20-3. Cowboys line up for a 66-yard field goal. That would tie the record for the NFL's longest field goal made. They snapped it as the clock or after the clock expired, the play clock expired, and Aubrey made it easily. Like cleared it by, would have been good from a pretty significant distance past that. But it was delay a game. They take it back 5 yards. So that 66-yarder that he just hit would have tied Justin Tucker's record. It pushed him back to 71 yards. He just nailed a 66. With certainty. Yeah. Would have set the record by 5 yards. They send the unit out. They're lining it up. The Browns ice him. And then the Cowboys just pulled Brandon Aubrey off the field. Why not give him the shot? There was 4 seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
you weren't going to get a Hail Mary, and not out of Dak Prescott, who you just paid the most money ever at the beginning of this day.
A really shit game.
Yeah, he had a bad day, and you just paid him. You're paying him $60 million a year to do average shit because it's Dak Prescott, and he's the epitome of average.
Paid him all that money just to not win a playoff game.
Yeah, he's getting paid $2 million less than Steph Curry every year.
You love saying that.
Dude, it's a jarring way to compare it. The fact that so nobody in football or basketball before these guys has made $60+ million a year. Why is Dak Prescott one of those guys?
I can't answer that.
Exactly. It should not be the case. Like Steph Curry's like what, top 5 at this point all time? Dak Prescott's not even top 5 right now.
True.
It makes no sense. But on the Browns, oh, sorry, you're going to do your top
Lamar,
5. Yep.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Probably Jordan Love.
Okay.
Maybe Jalen Hurts.
Maybe I would definitely put Hurts above Prescott right now.
Yeah, Hurts.
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Might be.
I forgot he still plays football.
Sure does.
They call it a touchdown?
Touchdown for
Jahmyr
Gibbs. Lines up 10-3.
The only thing that could have
None right
If
now.
only that could have been David Montgomery.
It's too bad, isn't it? Let's talk about the Browns side, though. They were pretty bad. 17 points for the Browns. I don't think I even said the score. Cowboys 33, Browns 17. Browns looked really bad.
A lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties. Super undisciplined. I think there was 10 penalties when I checked, and the game wasn't even over. 11 penalties for both sides. So just undisciplined on both sides. But Cleveland's were very costly, like in a lot of costly moments. They did have an injury on the offensive line. I can't remember who was out, but the replacement did commit a couple of holds and a couple of penalties throughout the game.
Speaking of injuries, Jake Ferguson.
Thanks, man. Thanks for bringing that up.
Needed to be talked about.
We weren't done. But yes, Jake Ferguson got hurt at the end of the game. As soon as I saw it happen, I said his season's over. So they're running tests, but it looked like an ACL tear to me.
Oh.
Like the way that he kind of got rolled over and his leg just kind of, bottom of his leg stayed one place, top of the leg kept going. It's textbook ACL injuries that I see all the time in football.
Just to sum it up, that's 2 injuries now for Grayson's fantasy football team.
Yes, Jordan Love and Jake Ferguson. And luckily, Jordan Love's not out for the season, but
He struggled.
yeah, and the Falcons lost, and Florida State sucks, and the Braves might not even make the playoffs. So
So
I don't know.
Grayson's going through it right
I might,
now.
if one day this podcast might just not come out, call in a wellness check. Please don't.
So goes to the questions time. Yo, Grayson, where you
Yeah,
at, man?
no. I'll answer it on Reddit. Let's see. Yeah, the Browns' offense was just abysmal, dude. So many overthrows by Deshaun Watson. It was unbelievable. 24 for 45, 169, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, got sacked 6 times for 32 yards. Just so bad all the way through for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, where's Luke's favorite player on the Cowboys? Let's see,
On
go
the
down.
Cowboys.
Go
Oh,
down.
yeah.
1 reception, 12 yards on 2 targets.
Shout out Jalen Tolbert.
Not even the best Jalen on the team.
No. And he Sorry,
Jalen
go ahead.
Brooks.
In case anyone was wondering why Colin keeps referencing Luke's favorite players, it's because Colin has officially started to
Yes.
listen to the podcast, just so everyone's aware.
Yeah.
So Colin now knows what's happening on the Friday episode.
Colin can make callbacks to things that he wasn't there for.
I love it. I love the dedication.
Yeah.
Nathan's just over here shitting on me now.
Nah, hey, he's giving you your praise for listening to the podcast. See, the real test is going to be listening to yourself on the podcast.
I'm not doing that.
You need
I'm
to.
just gonna skip.
No, you need to. You're going to skip each time you talk.
Yeah.
So you just skip that second.
No, like I skipped that episode.
Nah, don't do that.
Why?
Well, then that encourages these people to skip your episode.
They already do.
No, they don't. You're right here, aren't you?
Y'all breaking the fourth wall?
Yeah, we're breaking the fourth wall. Nathan, say hi to yourself when you hear this later.
Hey, drive safe.
I can only imagine Nathan said, "Hey, thank you," in his car tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, whatever. It's a weird store. Sorry, it was just this first thing that came to my head when he said Tuesday morning. Cowboys' offense was not perfect either. I'd go as far as to say they were bad. I know they scored 33 points, but that wasn't all the offense is doing.
They were manageable.
Big thing that happened, Kevontae Turpin took back a punt, which certainly helped them look much better than they really were on offense. Eric Kendricks, Trevon Diggs, both getting picks, looked really good in this game. Yeah, I think the Cowboys definitely, like, you can take away a lot of good stuff from this because, like, the offense looked good considering the fact that the Browns have this super powered defense. And like Myles Garrett didn't look unstoppable. He only had 2 tackles. One of them was a sack, which, obviously is great, but not like an insane game for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, not like TJ Watt today.
Yeah. But the Cowboys side, Eric Kendricks had the pick. He also had 2 sacks. DeMarcus Lawrence had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. Like they were putting in work in Dallas. So glad to see that their defense is still looking pretty good after Dan Quinn's departure. Okay, let's talk about Dan Quinn's team. Commanders, Buccaneers. The Bucs get the win relatively handedly. Let's see, what was that final score? I didn't end up getting on one of my notes just because it was
Like
one of the last to finish.
37-20.
Yeah, 37-20 to the Buccaneers side. I'll just go ahead and say it. I was wrong about Baker taking a step back. He was really good this week. I thought with the offensive coordinator change, there might be a step you're maybe just like take a little bit of adjusting to in the regular season, he's stepped right in and looks arguably just as good, if not better, than last year. 24 for 30, 289, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Only got sacked one time, which is fantastic for him. Baker really just looked so good. But I want to talk about Bucky Irving. Out of nowhere. Maybe one of the better rookie performances, especially based on expectations coming into their game. Bucky Irving looked phenomenal. 9 carries, 62 yards. Rachaad White, who I've constantly talked about as being one of the most inefficient running backs in the league, 15 carries, 31 yards. And it was a fight between him and Austin Eckler, the 2 most inefficient running backs in the league. And Eckler only got 2 carries, which is crazy, and he actually got 10 yards. But in what world is Austin Eckler getting 2 carries in an NFL game?
That he's on the same team as Jaden Daniels and Brian Robinson Jr.?
That's fair. Not that Brian Robinson Jr. was like much better in the running game. 12 carries, 40 yards is fine, but he got the touchdown, which pretty much helped him out a lot. But let's talk about Jaden Daniels. I want to say that this was a pretty good game, I would say. The 88 yards on the ground was like huge, and 2 rushing touchdowns, crazy. But 17 for 24 passing is not bad at all for his style of play. 184, no touchdowns, no picks, 2 sacks. They were pretty deep sacks. Pause. 2 for 22 sacks, 23 yards. But 16 carries, 88 yards, 2 touchdowns. Now, I do think that he needs to get a little bit better about his willingness to run. I think he was running a little bit too much, and that's something we saw from Anthony Richardson early last year, and it resulted in 2 injuries that took him out for extended periods of time.
Get more comfortable in the pocket.
Yeah, it was like he'd go through like 1-2 progressions and he was gone.
Yeah, he was eager to leave and run.
And I think that's why like a guy like Terry McLaurin didn't have a good game, because you got to give Terry McLaurin time. Like, yes, he has a pretty good release, but like you're putting the best of the best on him. So you got to give him a chance. So, go through his progression, go through somebody else, then look back at him and see if you got a chance instead of just running immediately. Yeah. But obviously that's something that he's going to just have to work on with his coordinators and quarterback coaches. But
shout out Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, Luke McCaffrey looked pretty decent, honestly.
That like trick play was kind of sick.
Yeah, the trick play was pretty sick. Where
deep, almost half the field.
So he played quarterback at Nebraska in college, and then he transferred somewhere else and was playing wide receiver, and then then he transferred to Rice and played wide receiver. Got drafted late in this draft by the Commanders. Nobody really knew if he was going to have a huge role. That trick play was awesome. They threw it to him. It was kind of a backwards throw, faked like he was going to throw, and then like it just opened up the sideline, and he just ran down the sideline for like a couple of yards. It was pretty sick. But yeah, I think the Commanders definitely have something going for them offensively.
A lot better.
Zach Ertz was pretty just dependable to be there, kind of just floating around the pocket, being an escape route for Jaden Daniels, which his escape route is primarily his legs, but still making it happen. Brian Robinson and Austin Eckler leading the way receiving as well. 4 receptions, 52 yards for Eckler. 3 receptions, 49 yards for Brian Robinson. So those 2 also getting it done on the ground. Receiving game, though, for Tampa was phenomenal all the way around, I'd say. Chris Godwin looked the best he's probably looked in quite a while. 8 receptions, 83 yards, and a touchdown was really good for him. Rachaad White, 6 receptions, 75 yards is crazy. He always does this. Mike Evans, 5 receptions, 61 yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Jalen McMillan, who only got 1 reception for 32 yards, but it was a touchdown, and he also dropped what was probably going to be a touchdown early in that game as well, but made up for it later, got his first career touchdown. To see all 3 of those wide receivers, immediate impact, scoring touchdowns, getting yards, making big plays is such a nice sign for the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see, anything else to talk about? Cade Otton didn't really get involved much. I was kind of surprised by that. Yeah, Jaden Daniels did fumble the ball 3 times.
Didn't lose him.
No, and shout out Tyler Biotis jumping down on on that big one that was very close to being very bad.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too mad about how the Commanders played. I knew the defense wasn't gonna be great.
Cade York.
Yeah, Cade York, 0 for 2 on the field goals was brutal. How about Eckler returning kicks? Kind of surprised by that one.
Gotta find a way to get him involved.
Yeah, he's taking a weird role with this team, in my opinion. especially because his old running backs coach from the Chargers is his offensive coordinator. That's why I'm so confused about why he's not really getting incorporated, but I have no idea. Okay, well, what are we doing? What happened?
Whoa.
Oh, Pavin Smith has 3 home runs right now. Holy shit. He needs a 2-run home run for the home run cycle. Holy shit.
In the 7th.
In the 7th. He struck out swinging. Yeah. So he came up in the 7th after all 3 of those home runs with 1 runner on base and struck out. That means he was definitely swinging for the fences.
So right now, he'll come up in the 9th.
Yeah. Dude, that would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay, well, yeah, Nathan, please keep monitoring that for us. In the meantime, let's talk about where we're at with Sunday Night Football.
Ooh.
How's it going?
Stafford just
You've
threw a
been
pick.
following it on your phone, so.
Stafford just threw a pick. At
Okay.
the 20-yard line.
Yes, you did. Ooh.
Well, the ball was, the line of scrimmage was on the 20-yard line.
Gosh, he threw the pick into the end zone. That's brutal.
Or the 8-yard line, sorry.
So where are we at stats-wise? Obviously, Detroit up 10-3 at the moment. 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Oh, wow. They're moving quick.
Yeah.
Or, no, we're moving slow. Never mind. Yeah, 15 seconds left in the second quarter here. So about to head into halftime. Don't know if we'll make it quite out of halftime here, but we'll give you some more updates later. But for now, Jared Goff, 7 for 10, 75 yards. Been sacked twice. Kind of surprising. Rams defensive line must be looking pretty good with the rookies, not the Rackies. Matthew Stafford, 16 for 26, throwing the ball a lot in this first half, 119
I
yards.
wondered who. Probably Cooper Kupp, who has 9 targets.
Yeah, and 6 receptions for 30 yards. How about Colby Parkinson? 3 receptions, 45 yards. Okay, what is about to happen here? Play action. Jared Goff gets sacked by Jared Verse. Let's go. Jared Verse the world, baby. Let's go. What? What are you looking at me for?
Jared versus the world.
I didn't say it like I said Jared versus the world. It's a play on words. Not Jared versus the world. That sounds stupid. It'd be like me saying, Colin Grant a wish. I was trying to find some kind of play on words with your last name. But see how it doesn't sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. College football. Time to talk college football week 2. This is just a fucking shit show. I'm going to be honest. It's like the weirdest week. And like it certainly was not bad. I didn't mind what we saw. But let's start with the biggest matchup, a top 10 matchup. Number 3 Texas, 31 points, beating out number 10 Michigan, 12 points. If you didn't think Michigan was going to get absolutely obliterated, you're dumb or wrong or a Michigan fan. Which actually, I know a couple Michigan fans that thought they were going to lose. But how idiotic do you have to be to have any expectations for Michigan?
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if anybody saw my tweet. I quote tweeted that article from On3. Sharon Moore hasn't signed his contract yet?
How?
Don't know, but he's just head coaching without a contract. They were like, things pop up. No, they don't, dude. And there's literally pictures that Michigan posted of him signing something, being like, new head coach or blah, blah, blah. What the fuck was he signing?
Just a blank piece of paper.
It was probably just like an NDA. It's unbelievable. But yeah, Texas absolutely obliterated them. 31-12. Quinn Ewers looked fantastic. 24 for 36, 246, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Davis Warren, not the guy. Just not the guy. I know 22 for 33 is not that bad, but 204, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. It's just not good enough.
Maybe next week try Alex Orji.
Yeah, I agree. And also, get Donovan Edwards the fuck off of the cover of College Football 25. He did not deserve it, and he still doesn't. He is bad.
Yeah.
8 carries for 41 yards. It's not like the worst day, but he's expected to be like top 5 in the nation, and he is so not.
Running back than him.
Yeah, Ashton Jeanty, both of Ohio State's running backs, Ollie Gordon, who I don't even think played this week. All of them are better than him. So, Jalen Milroe's a better running back.
Jam Miller.
Yeah, Jam Miller as well. How about Ryan Wingo? 1 carry, 55 yards for Texas. It's unbelievable. Outran Donovan Edwards. But otherwise, like Texas, they've had so many injuries in the running game that like there's not much they can do, and they're still making things work. They still rush for 143 yards as a team. Receiving yards wise, Gunnar Helm leads the way, 7 receptions, 98 yards, and a touchdown. Isaiah Bond doing his work, not anything insanely good, but 3 receptions, 51 yards for him, and then you had touchdowns for Matthew Golden and Jaden Blue in the receiving game. And so, like, literally 5 people caught passes for Texas. 2 of them didn't get touchdowns. So, pretty good job by Quinn just finding the guys and finding the right ones for sure. Not really much else to talk about. Michigan got absolutely clobbered. That's kind of the story. So we'll move on to another ranked versus ranked matchup. Number 14, Tennessee, 51. Number 24, NC State, 10.
Yeah, this blowout.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and say this because this was one of our handshake bets. I didn't realize how bad NC State played in week 1. I thought they played a whole lot better than they really did. And then, yeah, Tennessee promptly went to Charlotte and beat them at Bank of America Stadium and left happy. Nico didn't have a great game, though. I'll go ahead and say that. 16 for 23, 211, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not really what you want to see. But the defense did a great job. Like, this was the first full game of James Pierce. He only got like 10 snaps last week. Mm-hmm. So seeing him in full force this week was huge. The defense, like slowing down Kevin Concepcion to like a quarter of what he had last week in receiving yards was fantastic. Keeping him to only 5 receptions, 53 yards. They couldn't run the ball whatsoever. Hollywood Smothers was there. Oh, what a fucking name. Was their leading rusher with 6 carries, 25 yards. I think that's got to be the name for today. Like, that's the name. That's the winner. Everybody else is playing for second place today. On the Tennessee side, they were just doing just about everything right. Squirrel White, 2 receptions, 67 yards. Was crazy. A lot of overthrows to Squirrel White that we saw. I know Colin was sweating that one out. How'd the running game look for Tennessee? I think somebody dominated. Yeah, Dylan Sampson, 20 carries, 132, and 2 touchdowns. Unbelievable.
Even Nico ran the ball well.
Yeah, Nico looked really good on the ground. 8 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown. What? Bro, it's going to happen. I don't know what to tell you. Grayson McCall was pretty bad. I'll just say that. He lost 2 fumbles.
Yeah, go back to Coastal, you bum.
Damn. You think bums go to Coastal?
Yeah.
Say that to Isaiah Likely. Yeah? Change your mind? But yeah, Tennessee just looking a whole lot better. Yeah, the interceptions for NC State, though, the pick 6 was crazy. Aiden White's pick 6, they also got matched by Will Brooks' pick 6. Aiden White had the interception, 87 yards for the touchdown. Will Brooks, 85 yards for the touchdown. So unbelievable stuff from the 2 of them. Not really much else to hit on here. Kanoa Vineset. Oh, yeah, I think that's second place on this one. Caden Noonkester.
Is that Florida State in last place in the ACC?
Ha ha ha. Yeah, duh. They've played more games than fucking half the conference. Thank you, Nathan. All right. Let's move on to the biggest upset of the week. Northern Illinois, 16 on the road to number 5 Notre Dame, who only put up 14 points. Northern Illinois. And
Riley Leonard's bad.
Little precursor to our AP Top 25. Northern Illinois sneaks in at 25, beating the god-awful Notre Dame Fighting Irish. That makes Texas A&M look way worse. Losing to fucking Northern Illinois coming off of that loss. It's crazy. Riley Leonard, not the guy. Not the guy. Notre Dame needs to stop transferring in promising ACC quarterbacks. 20 for 32, 163, no touchdowns, 2 picks. Couldn't do anything on the ground. He was absolutely awful outside of the touchdown. He had a long of 11. He only rushed for 16 yards on 11 carries. Jeremiah Love was fine on the ground. 11 carries, 79 yards, and a touchdown. But Northern Illinois running the ball at will. Ontario Brown Ontario, maybe. I don't know. 20 carries, 99 yards. Gavin Williams, 17 carries, 59 yards. Ethan Hampton, their quarterback, had a solid game, 10 for 19, 198 and a touchdown, no picks. Northern Illinois just played sound football. There's not a single other D1 school, maybe, that Northern Illinois would put up 16 points on and not lose. George Demopoulos from Crystal Lake, Illinois, freshman. Shout out, George. Illinois. Yeah, just a fantastic. Holy shit, Ontario Brown. 2 receptions, 126 and a touchdown, and a long of 83. Bro was just doing that twice. Like what? An 83-yard touchdown and then a 43-yard reception. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Crazy. Oh man, and he's like the only one that received for anything receiving wise. Everybody else had 1 reception for 14 or less yards. Shout out the Northern Illinois Huskies. Notre Dame canceled. They're done. Season's over.
Horrible.
Pack it up, Riley. Start working out for the draft so you can go 7th round.
Put the fries in the bag, buddy.
Yeah. Welcome to being Sam Hartman. Better hope you're good looking. All right, let's talk about an almost upset in the top 10. Boise State on the road in Eugene. Cannon Whittle.
There you go.
You happy? I don't care.
He also missed one.
Yeah, he also missed a field goal. It didn't have to be the game winner. It's his fault.
But
54-yard miss.
Jeter missed 2, so it's fine.
Yeah. The next game, though, Boise State 34, number 7 Oregon 37. Just barely by the skin of their teeth.
Bang out.
Get out of it. Ashton Jeanty doing it again. Number 1 running back in college football, and it ain't even fucking close. He's number 1 and nobody's number 2. Ollie Gordon's number 3. That's just how it is. There's a top 5 and there's 4 because Ashton Jeanty's as good as second place as well. He's ungodly. I think I saw he's on pace for 58 touchdowns this year. 2 games, 3 touchdowns, 25 carries, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. Just unbelievable. And his quarterback sucks dick. Maddox Madsen is so bad, but Ashton Jeanty just does all the work for him. I think he had 2 70-yard touchdowns. I know he had 1.
This game, I know he had 1.
What are we pulling up here, Nathan? Yeah, so he has the most rushing yards by 80, more than 80. Yeah, 86 more rushing yards in second place.
Look at passer rating. Northern Illinois is sitting number 3.
Oh, wow. Shout out Ethan Hampton. 2 good games for him. Jackson Dart, killing it. But then again, it's been 2 straight cupcakes, so it's whatever.
Tataroa McMillan.
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's wait, does that mean he got 10 receiving yards in their last game?
Who?
Tataroa McMillan. It said he had 315. He had 304 in week 1. Okay, we might have to check on the Arizona game. Whatever happened there.
It was close. It was a close game.
But nonetheless, yeah, Oregon, Boise State was unbelievably good. A nail biter all the way to the end. Boise State taking a lead into the half, 20-14, just kept it rolling. Unfortunately, a great third quarter by Oregon, defensively and offensively, gets them a lead, and they somehow salvage a victory here, but did not look good doing it. This is 11 yards, 2 receptions for McMillan. Okay, that's fair. Dylan Gabriel had a pretty solid day, 18 for 21, 243, 2 touchdowns, not nearly as bad as the Idaho game. Jordan James, fantastic on the ground, 17 carries, 102. Receiving game, Evan Stewart led the way, of course. Who else would it have been? 5 receptions, 112 and a touchdown. Trayshawn Holden, 4 receptions, 78 yards and a touchdown. Defensive side, not much to talk about. Both these teams giving up a shitload of points. But Dylan...
Johnson.
Oh, go ahead.
Tez Johnson.
Yeah.
3 receptions for -1 yards.
Absolutely nothing.
That
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing going for Tez Johnson. But yeah, Dylan Gabriel lost a fumble. Patrick Herbert lost a fumble. Noah Whittington almost did. I guess it looks like it must have gone out of bounds. But yeah, Defensively, just a shit game, which I guess we could have expected from Boise State after the game against Georgia Southern. But Oregon, very, very bad day. Yeah, Boise State 4 sacks.
Another
Oregon's
ugly
1.
win.
Yeah, another ugly win, but it reflects in the AP poll. We'll say that now. Okay, let's move on to fuck the Uongalays. Even though his brother has done nothing wrong, it's actually not a bad edge rusher. We'll go to the next one. Another top 10 team that almost Atticus Sappington. Holy shit. What a name. James Ferguson Reynolds? That's theoretically 3 last names. James is definitely a last name as well. James Ferguson Reynolds. It's 3 last names. Hard to come by. Okay, let's talk Bowling Green 27, number 8 Penn State 34. This one was damn close. Bowling Green, had a lead for a decent portion of this game. Like they went into the half up. They finished the first quarter up 10-7. They go into halftime up 24-20. And then Penn State just kind of piles it on in the second half, ends up coming back, getting the win. Drew Aller, once again, worst version of J.J. McCarthy. 13 for 20, 204, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Still don't see what anybody saw in Drew Aller. Number 1 quarterback in his high school class.
That's awful.
He's doing this. What the fuck? Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen, unbelievable in the running game. Nicholas Singleton, 13 carries, 119 and a touchdown. Katron Allen, 14 carries, 101. Unreal. Bowling Green side, Connor Basilak? I don't know how to say it. Pretty solid day considering he's going up against a top 10 team. 25 for 39, 254, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not great on the picks, but the running game, they got 121 rushing yards as a team. But Harold Fannin Jr. was the guy to look for Bowling Green. 11 receptions, 1 touchdown on 137 receiving yards. You also had Malcolm Johnson Jr. with 8 receptions, 81 yards and a touchdown. Tyler Warren leading the way for Penn State. 8 receptions, 146. No touchdowns for him, but Amari Evans and Nicholas Singleton both with receiving touchdowns. And Penn State gets out with a victory somehow. This was so close all the way through. Like I made a joke. My boss went to Bowling Green, made a joke to him before the game. I was like, hey, you think your Falcons are going to cover 35.5 point spread? He was like, yeah, they've got a pretty good offense. I didn't think it was going to, I didn't think money line was in play. I definitely did not think the money line was in play. I thought, 25 point loss is going to be pretty good to go home with. Nah.
7.
Yeah, a 7 point loss for the Bowling Green Falcons. Unbelievable. On the road at Penn State. Let's see. Next game. Let's talk another close one as well for a top ranked team, number 15 Oklahoma. Houston comes to town. Houston loses 12-16 against number 15 Oklahoma. Jackson Arnold just looked boring. So boring.
Wasn't even the best quarterback.
No. Donovan Smith was a way better quarterback in this game. Donovan Smith for Houston, 24 for 28, 260, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Jackson Arnold, 19 for 32, 174, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Neither team could run the ball whatsoever. And Houston was getting to Jackson Arnold so easily, making him scramble all over the place. I don't know what the exact sack number is. If you could pull that up real quick, Nathan. Scroll down. 3 sacks on Jackson Arnold. But yeah, pretty impressive game for Houston. Especially they lost their season opener. Wasn't expecting anything going into Oklahoma, and they come out and hold Oklahoma to 16 points is amazing. Obviously, the offense wasn't fantastic, only putting up 12 points. But and one of those I think was a missed 2-point conversion.
I think Oklahoma's very overrated this year.
Oh, I think they're god awful. Personally. Yeah, and then Oklahoma had a safety there at the end that kind of sealed the deal somehow in a 4-point game. But yeah, that was just a bad showing that I wanted to put out there. Let's talk about a huge comeback victory for a ranked team over an unranked team. Arkansas heads to Oklahoma State, and it finishes in double overtime. Oklahoma State takes it 39-31. Arkansas's defense in the first half of this game was unbelievable. Got to shout out Liam Blutman, a.k.a. college football with no context or no context college football. He put out like his top coaching, like underrated coaches or something. Number 5 on the list, the defensive coordinator at Arkansas. Nobody's ever talking about Arkansas's defense. This guy shows up and in the first half held Oklahoma State to 7 points. And in the first 3 quarters, held them to 13 points. Like, it was an unbelievable showing. And then they put up 18 in that fourth quarter, and then they score that last touchdown, of course, in overtime to get the victory. But, like, Alan Bowman looked abysmal in the first half, turned it the fuck up in that second half. So shout out to Oklahoma State for just making the halftime adjustments moving forward. Ollie Gordon did play, just didn't seem like it because he sucked. 17 carries, 49 yards, 1 touchdown. Maybe moves behind Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson in my rankings, because that's 2 straight games where, yes, the first game he had like over 100, but he didn't necessarily impress. Taylon Green, the quarterback for Arkansas, just fucking letting it fly. 26 for 45, 416, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. And in the running game, Jaquindon Jackson, 24 carries, 149, and 3 touchdowns. Not quite Ashton Jeanty level, but certainly better than Ollie Gordon. Andrew Armstrong was the guy catching the bulk of Arkansas's passes. 10 receptions, 164 for him. You had Isaiah Sategna, 4 receptions, 78. You had multiple other guys up in like the 40s, 60s, getting a touchdown for Lucas Haas. And then, Oklahoma State, you had a couple of big games like Brennan Presley, 9 receptions, 91 yards, and a touchdown, but everybody else just kind of in that 60s range and then dropping off. Jake Schultz, 1 reception, 63 yards. Unbelievable. Obviously, defenses weren't a huge factor in that second half, but the fumbles were definitely a problem for Arkansas, which, look, nobody has expectations for Arkansas this year. So them going to Oklahoma State and doing something in Stillwater is rather surprising to me. All right, we can move on from that one, though. Definitely a thriller going to second. What? Double up. Yeah. You want to give that one a try, Colin?
Yeah, it's in cock.
I can only assume you're right. Maybe cack, which just sounds funnier. It just sounds like a funnier way of saying it. Maybe it's Coke. Double A. I don't know how the fuck you say that. Victoria. Is that a part of Canada? Oh. Yeah. There is a Victoria something in Australia. You're the guy with the computer. Look it up. Well, I have one right in front of me, but I don't have Google open. Just look up. I'm pretty sure there is a state or whatever. Yeah. He looks Australian.
He looks like an actor.
He kind of does look like it. He looks like
The dude that was in Riverdale.
Oh, I was thinking he kind of looks like Leo from
Labrats?
No, maybe his name wasn't Leo. No, it was Jack from Kicking It.
What? No, his face is too like bulky.
No, but Jack had like a square head and like the longer flowy hair.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
I
similar.
bet if he turned around, it'd be very
What?
like from the back.
What? You just made it worse. 65 miles north of Melbourne.
Melbourne.
So from Seymour. Okay.
Have a game plan.
Yeah.
September is responsible.
What are you reading ads? Okay. Let's talk about another ranked game that actually was an upset this time. Number 19, Kansas, 17 on the road in Champaign, loses to Illinois. 23 points for Illinois. Kansas just caught on their back foot, it kind of seemed like, in this game. You got a huge fourth quarter rally by Illinois, scoring 10 points, getting the victory. Jalen Daniels just didn't look right. He was a guy that I think a lot of people were really hyped on this year, and just
he wants to be Jaden Daniels so bad.
Maybe. But 18 completions, 32 attempts, 141, 2 touchdowns, and 3 picks. Not a good day. Devin Neal killing it on the ground as always. 14 carries, 101 for him. On the Illinois side, the Fighting Illini led by Luke What?
You see that name?
Where?
For Illinois rushing, number 2.
Oh, yeah, Khalil Valentine. It's a pretty solid name.
Spelling Khalil like that?
Yeah, Khalil, C-A-Lil is awesome. But Luke Altmaier leading it at quarterback for the Illini. 16 for 25, 192. No touchdowns, no picks, but had a pretty solid day. Caden Fegan getting the rushing touchdown for them. Nathan, can you scroll down real quick just so we can see the receivers? Obviously, nobody had an outstanding game. Zachary Franklin, pretty solid. 9 receptions, 99 yards. But that was really it. Like I said, Kansas just not looking great. Surprisingly, I don't know what happened to Lance Leipold's side, but they didn't look good. All right, let's move on to Nebraska 28, Colorado 10.
Ooh.
This was an absolute routing from the jump.
Yeah.
Colorado was so out of this game so early on. Nebraska was so much better up front on both sides of the ball than Colorado. Like, it was truly unbelievable. They were unranked. But like Dylan Raiola did look very good. I'll hand up, he did. I was pretty impressed. I would.
Mahomes?
Yes, Dylan Mahomes, Patrick Raiola. He looked fine. He was throwing a lot of short passes, but 23 for 30 is very good for him. 185, 1 touchdown, no picks. Dante Dowdle, their running back, 17 carries, 74 yards, 2 touchdowns was huge for them. Shador, honestly, a bad game. Typically, they lose and he gets like 400 yards. 23 completions, 38 attempts, 244, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. The biggest thing that happened, though, was he left the field before the game was over.
Like 20 minutes, right?
Yeah. No, not 20 minutes left in the game, but like there was a couple of minutes left on the clock. But like Ryan Staub came out for like a drive or so, and then Shador just went to the locker room, and I don't think he was injured at all, which is ridiculous. You don't just get to cry and go to the locker room just because you're playing like shit. I think that's unbelievable. I'm surprised that Dion let that happen. I'm sure he didn't let it happen afterwards. A flag on the play here.
Ooh.
Jameson Williams, looks like he got the touchdown. Getting jiggy within the touchdown. Damn.
He's
What the
still
fuck's he doing?
Yo,
About
can
to
we
get
get
in
a
a-
pylon cam real quick?
What? Of what?
The dance?
From what angle, bruh? The pylon cam would be whack. Okay. What is it? Defensive pass interference? Yeah. Oh, illegal
That
contact.
was 52 yards.
Damn.
Oh, Tre'Davious White.
Got burned. Let's see what happens here.
Oh.
Definitely illegal contact, but he got fucking cooked. Yeah, a little bit underthrown, but still got there. that looked so weird with White coming down on his leg and he's just like trying to jump. Dude, stop. Stop. No. Oh my god. That was brutal. Yeah. As soon, dude, literally, like I was saying it in my head and I was like, I started saying it out loud. I was like, no. Yeah, Colorado rushed for 16 yards as a team because Shador got sacked so many times. He was essentially running backwards. It wasn't even sacks. Like he was just literally like, get the snap. Oh shit, the entire pocket collapsed already. Let me turn around and run backwards. Travis Hunter inevitably having a good game.
This is
10,
Travis Hunter,
yeah,
man.
10 receptions, 110 yards just out of
Get in the
nowhere.
end zone now.
That's really good for Travis
Anytime you
Hunter.
have a receiver getting over 100 yards.
Yeah. No. Well, yeah, but like 10 receptions is still hard to get, I think is the thing. Yeah, 11 yards per thing. I mean, like also as long as it was only 28. But also every time Shador threw down the field, it was overthrown. So that didn't help either. Because like Jimmy Horn got overthrown so many times. I wish we tracked targets in college, but like,
I don't
dude.
think you want to.
yeah, no. You can do the math.
Go back
Shador
and watch
Sanders overthrew a lot of passes. Go look at his completion percentage.
Just go watch.
Yeah. Rewatch the game. I'm sure somebody made like a super cut of all of his overthrown passes. Yeah, this was just horrible showing from Colorado. Like, I knew for a fact that Nebraska was going to win that game. It was so obvious from the jump.
I thought you had Colorado.
That's bullshit. You know that's bullshit because I wanted Nebraska. That's the only reason I wanted this game in the mix for that bet.
Oh no.
Shut up. No, it was obvious Colorado was going to lose that game. Colin, give that name a swing.
Which one? Nate Borkircher?
I can't imagine it's anything different.
Borkircher?
Borkircher. And you got Thomas Fedone II right under.
New England.
Aurora, New England?
That's bad. I'm
Brother.
sorry.
Nebraska. He literally plays for Nebraska.
I apologize.
Oh, man. Didn't their kicker suck too, Colorado?
Yes,
Their kicker was brutal. Yeah, Alejandro Mata. They ended up bringing in somebody else.
to miss a field goal.
Yeah, but that miss that Mata had was like so bad. That one, he only had a 27. I think that miss was only from like 40, maybe. Not even. But yeah, Nebraska absolutely beat the brakes on them. Now, I'm not going to just buy in on Nebraska after this because, once again, Colorado's awful. Amazing name right there. Prince Will, first name, down. Prince Will Uman, is that an L? Umanmilan? Awesome ass name.
Umamilan.
Umanmilan? Yeah, okay. I don't know why the way you said it didn't sound right. It sounded like you said umami.
We'll just call him Uma.
Yeah, Malcolm Hartzog Jr.
Princewell Uma.
Yeah, Nash Hutmacher. Maker. It's probably Maker. Or Mocker. Yeah. Willis McGahee the fourth, obviously. Shout out Willis McGahee.
Shane
The
Coates.
third. Yeah, all the Willis McGahees that came before.
Shane Coates.
All right, enough names. Let's talk real quick. South Carolina beat the brakes off of Kentucky,
Yeah.
31-6. What the fuck was Brock Vandegrift doing?
I'm no longer sold on Brock Vandegrift.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm selling all the stock that I didn't have in Brock
My
Vandegrift.
free trial has expired.
Yeah, I already canceled that shit on the day I signed up. They're also unranked. Both of the next one is too. But yeah, South Carolina just beating the fucking piss out of Kentucky. Which, like, South Carolina was so bad week one, and they still won. But they were so bad. Brock Vandegrift was 3 for 10 for 30 yards and a pick. And then they brought in Gavin Wimsatt, and he was 3 for 7 for 14 yards and a pick. Yeah, Brock Vandegrift's QBR, 1.2.
That's bad.
That's so bad. The only thing, like, how do you have a lower average fucking average yards per attempt than QBR? That's crazy. But yeah, South Carolina just killed it. And like the offense was not good for South Carolina. Great name for the running back for Kentucky. Demi Sumo Carnbay. I would assume the G is probably silent. Carnbay, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, Brock Vandegrift was so bad. It even got to the point where South Carolina brought in Robbie Ashford, so you know the game's over. But Lenora Sellers, not too bad. I think he's a true freshman, so something to look forward to there. Yeah, like, let's look at the defense real quick, because I think South Carolina's defense did a deal with the scoring. Yeah, Nick Emmanuel scored one of the touchdowns. Jesus Christ.
Tell me that leading defensive player for Kentucky, his first name is Derek.
What? Oh, yeah, it's definitely Derek. Or De'Eric. It could be De'Eric, which is still a weird way to spell Eric. ERYK. I respect it, though. JQ Hardaway. It's just a solid name. Jansen Dunn. Octavius Oxendine. That's got to be that's a close second place on the day. Octavius Oxendine. That sounds so, like, proper. Yeah. I think it's just because it's Oxford is probably what we're thinking of. Makes it British. Yeah, I think that's... hold on. I just saw, like, 3 capital letters in somebody's first name. Oh, no, there's just DQ Smith. Shout out Dairy Queen. He's got to get a Dairy Queen NIL deal, right? His name is DQ. If Kool-Aid McKinstry got Kool-Aid before he was even on campus, DQ's got to get some Dairy Queen, bro. I need to see him sporting a dipped cone. All right, one last game, and then we'll just quickly talk about the top team scores. Cal 21, Auburn 14.
You can't lose the ACC, bro. Come on.
Mike, if you're listening, what happened, bro? Peyton Thorne. What happened to Peyton Thorne, bro? Did he not say Peyton Thorne for Heisman last week?
Auburn Tigers. What happened? How
Yeah.
did you lose to the California Golden Bears?
Thank you, James Strohs. Shout out James. He's the GOAT. Yeah, what the fuck? Peyton Thorne, you suck, dude. 14 for 27, 165, 1 touchdown, 4 picks. What the hell? Like, Jaden Ott didn't even have a good game. He had 10 carries for 11 yards. You still lost to Cal. He's their only good player.
Apparently not.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza looked pretty good at quarterback. 25 for 36, 233, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Not bad. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk. I just wanted to say that Auburn lost. Shout out, Mike. Hope you're doing all right, man. Hope you're enjoying that national championship shirt I gave you. It's the closest you'll get to one anytime soon. Whoa, name. Yup, go back. Down. Oh, that one's pretty good, too. Second to last on Auburn's defense. Colin, give that one a whirl.
Quintrail Jamison Travis.
That's amazing. Quintrail. I love that. And it's so phonetically spelled. I love that part. No kick returns. What? No, it was just all touchbacks. Towns Magoo. Yeah. No, it's Magoo. Yeah, no, I watched some of this game. It's Towns Magoo. Trust me, I was tortured enough watching the game. I was listening for names. Ryan Coe. It's like David Allen
from
Coe.
McDonald, Pennsylvania.
Shout out McDonald's. No free shout outs though. Next time you're gonna have to pay for that McDonald's.
Bring back the Travis Scott meal.
Yeah. I got the Travis Scott meal 4 years ago today. Popped up in my memories, yeah. I was with Connor and Cole. Shout out Motion Man. Shout out Cole. Yeah, Alabama.
No.
Well, this is perfect. We're going to talk about that game soon, so we'll just go ahead and skip to that one. Alabama 42, USF 16. It wasn't that close this time, man.
Until the fourth.
Till the fourth, yeah. Well, yeah, because USF's all of their players were dead by the fourth quarter. Yeah, Jalen Milroe was fine. Everybody was fine.
Yeah.
That was the story. Jam Miller was more than fine. He was very, very good. 15 carries, 140, 1 touchdown for Jam. I'm jelly of that performance. Oh man, he drops his bat.
No way, you just said.
I've been waiting to do that one. I thought of that while we were sitting on the couch at your house watching that game last night. Just like, what joke can I make about Jam Miller? And that's what I came up with, unfortunately. Yeah, Byron Brown, insane. 15 for 35 is so bad, but 103 passing yards, shit. Don't care about the passing game. 23 carries, 108. He was running wherever the fuck he wanted. It was awesome. Shout out to Ron Keith. Great name on USF. Yeah, 6'3", 225. Built like Anthony Richardson, honestly. Abdur Rahman Yassin.
Ryan Williams.
Boring. Kobe Prentice is a better name. It's right there.
Sorry.
There used to be some integrity to this man. Nico Grammatica. No, it's Grammatica.
Justin Jefferson.
Jihad Campbell. What? I know. I went to school with somebody with that name, not Campbell, but the first name. Also Q Robinson, but it's Q-U-E. They might as well have gone all the way and gone Q-U-E-U-E. DeCarius Hawthorne. Love that name. Don't sleep on Jaheim Otis, but it's Otis and it's spelled Oat is. I already said Teron Keith. He was a runner. James Burnip. How's James Burnip as a punter?
He's not bad. He's really good.
Yeah.
I get some J.K. Scott.
Okay. Are you just kidding about that, or you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Get it? JK? I'm on one, people. You better watch the fuck out.
And thank you for tuning in. That is
Nope. John Cannon chose the wrong position. Not kicker. Okay, let's talk about Georgia.
Yeah, you need to go on a pirate ship.
Oh yeah, there was a second holder on Alabama.
Shut up.
So there's one guy that holds the snap, like they snap it to him. He holds the ball. Placeholder.
Yeah.
For the kicker. Who's the other holder?
Left tackle.
That's right.
Number 75.
Yeah, Caden Proctor's replacement.
You mean backup?
Well, replacement for the time being.
What are you looking for, Nathan?
The guy's name. Farmby. Is that... We'll find the roster. He might not be on it anymore. Might have gotten rid of him real quick.
Formby.
Formby? Where is he?
He's Nathan passed him. You gotta go up.
Yep.
There.
Wilkin Formby. Oh, he's a fucking freshman. That's why. Yeah. Please don't attack him on social media. I'm sure he's getting enough hate. What? That was mean. Jesus. Yeah, he does kind of look like somebody we know.
6'7", 324. He would kill us.
Yeah, I'd like to be friends with him.
And that size as a freshman?
Yeah, no, I'm saying I'd like to be friends with this guy.
Brother, what you squat?
Bro, he would look like him next to me would look like me next to Colin.
That's just fucked.
How tall are you?
5'9".
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
He's only got 4 inches on me. He probably does. We'll just say that. Yeah. He's an adult. I can say that. Probably does. All right. Next. We still haven't gotten to UGA. UGA 48, Tennessee Tech 3. Are we done? We're done with Alabama?
Yeah, we're done.
I'm standing by what I said. I think I'm right. That was weird, considering the conversation. Yes, Georgia 48, Tennessee Tech 3. Georgia
We don't have to go into depth.
did nothing cool. Carson Beck threw 5 touchdowns. Is that what you wanted to know?
If
There
you
you
want to
go.
go back and listen to the podcast when we were doing our preview, I actually said 48-3.
Did you? Or did you?
I'm 98% positive.
Okay, somebody actually do go back and fact check that, and then
Comment
put it
whether
on
or
the
not-
subreddit.
Yeah.
Put it on the subreddit. Let us know. Ohio State beat the shit out of Western Michigan, 56-0. Quinshon Judkins, literally 9 carries, 108, 2 touchdowns. Holy fuck. Kyron Williams, touchdown for the Rams. But yeah, Quinshon Judkins was crazy. 9 carries, 108, 2 touchdowns. Trevion Henderson, 10 carries, 66 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Peoples, 10 carries, 51 yards, 1 touchdown. Will Howard didn't really have to do anything. He actually didn't have a bad game. Also, Western Michigan. 18 for 26, 292, 1 touchdown. Julian Sane got in the game. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad he's not at Bama anymore
Why?
because I don't like him.
I mean, it was 2 for 2, 61 yards, a touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, you only like running backs, a quarterback. That's right. Number 6, Ole Miss, 52.
You
What?
can keep Julian saying, just please give us back Caleb Downs. Please.
Yeah, you guys could use him. Yes, number 6, Ole Miss, 52. Middle Tennessee State, 3. Jackson Dart, trying to make a Heisman run. Also, Parrish. What's his first name? Henry? Parrish? Harold Parrish?
I don't know.
I think you're thinking of
Our
Harold
producer
Perkins.
would, look it up.
Henry. I was right. Henry Parrish Jr. Dog. Absolute dog. 14 carries, 165, 4 tuds. They don't even need Quinshon. What?
Duds.
That's a thing people say. You keep saying fuck it. What was the what did you keep saying about blowouts? What were you calling them?
Bang out.
Bang out. Yeah, that just sounds weird, bro. I don't
How?
get it. I don't know. It just sounds weird. No shit. That sounded fucked up. Basketball players would be the word. Gotcha. Basketball fans.
I also,
Okay.
know, a lot of COD players talk about that.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't pay attention to that either.
Yeah, I can
Nerds. What do you mean I can tell?
Let's just keep going.
I don't play
Let's keep
COD.
going.
I'm not trying. I've never said I was good at Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Let's
Grayson,
get
you
that out
You
there.
look like an athlete instead of a COD nerd, loser.
Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Like Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I just won MVP in Madden, so for the Saints, which killed me. I did not want to, but it's for my own good. It's just gonna give me a bigger contract when I leave. Mizzou 39, Buffalo 0. Sorry, 38, Buffalo 0. That's it. That's all I care about. Miami fucked the shit out of FAMU. Utah played a close one with Baylor. Let's talk about the AP poll, and then we'll quickly go through like the 3 games that actually matter next week. AP poll, please. Thank you. Georgia remains number 1. Who would have guessed? Texas, though, swaps places with Ohio State after a huge win over Michigan. Texas goes up to number 2. Ohio State drops down to number 3. Alabama sits at number 4. Now, this is where the SEC comes into play. Number 5, Ole Miss. They move up 1 spot from 6. Missouri moves up 3 spots to number 6. Tennessee jumps into the top 7. 7 spots after blowing out Chattanooga and then blowing out NC State. They make a huge case, and now the SEC takes up 6 of the 7 spots at the top of the college football leaderboards. How insane is that?
That is absolutely wild.
Absolute dominance. And then if you go all the way down to number 9, Penn State is number 8. They stay in there. Oregon drops 2 spots to number 9. It's only Big Ten and SEC in the top 9. Then you have 1 ACC team in the top 10 with Miami jumping up 2 more spots to number 10. USC jumps 2 more spots up to 11. Utah drops after the close one with Baylor down to number 12. Oklahoma State makes a big jump, as well as Kansas State. 2 Big 12 teams making huge pushes after some wins, up to 13 and 14. Oklahoma holds on to 15th. LSU moving up 2 spots up to 16. Michigan dropping once again down to 17, down 7 spots. Notre Dame with another big loss, a really big loss, drops down to 13. Arguably should be unranked, in my opinion, but they drop down to 18. They drop 13 spots. Number 19 is Louisville. They come up 3 spots after a couple of large victories. Arizona holds their spot at 20. Iowa State gets in at 21. Clemson, 22, up 3 spots. That one's a questionable one to me as well. And then Nebraska, Boston College, and Northern Illinois find their way into the top 25, 23, 24, 25, respectively. I think Illinois right on the brink. If you'll scroll down just a little bit, it'll show us the votes. I think Illinois only 13 votes behind Northern Illinois for that spot at 25. Also, if you're fucking voting Kansas still, get the fuck out of here. You are wrong, my friend. And Texas A&M, get out of here. Vandy at least had a good win week 1. Okay, that's really it for the AP poll. I don't really have like strong opinions. I think it's pretty accurate at this point. Like, we can't really say much because it's going to shift a ton every week for the next couple weeks.
Especially once we dive into all the SEC play.
Yeah. Once a lot of SEC teams start matching up, which like kind of happens like midway through the season, it's definitely going to get dicey. Okay, week 3, college football. Not a lot of good games. And honestly, in my opinion, the best game of the week is Arizona at Kansas State, number 20 at number 14. And that one's on Friday night. 8 p.m. on Friday night for that one. Get to see Tetero McMillan hopefully look good. And then Kansas State maybe continuing this run of dominance that we've seen. Could be an interesting one there on Friday night. And then another ranked versus ranked matchup. You got Boston College, number 24, heading to Mizzou, number 6. I can only imagine Mizzou beats the brakes off of Boston College. But you never know what Thomas Castellanos has got in his back pocket. He already has Florida State back there. So
Oregon State already.
Yeah, Oregon State, just because they're not in the same conference anymore. So number 9, Oregon heads to Corvallis to take on Oregon State in
Tulane, Oklahoma,
the bowl game, or the rivalry game formerly known as the Civil War. Washington State versus Washington. That one's going to be fun. The Apple Cup, very fun to see early in the year. Why are you pointing out Morgan State at Iowa? No. Well, yeah, but it's because you were pointing it out, and I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? There's really not a lot of good games. There's a lot of like former Pac-12 teams playing their rivals. We do have number 4 Alabama on the road at Wisconsin, which could get interesting. Colin is so worried about this. Wisconsin only beat South Dakota by like 13 this week.
Hey,
so
he's coming to Atlanta, Georgia, playing at Center Park Stadium.
Yes, against
It's right down the
Georgia
list.
State. I'm going to be tuning in for Kennesaw State versus San Jose State on national TV.
Oh, they got to go all the way out to
On
San
True
Jose.
TV and Max. Definitely not fucking watching that.
Georgia, Kentucky, Georgia versus Brock Vandergrift.
Yeah, Brock Vandegrift getting revenge, right? What are we thinking? 1 for 11? Is that revenge?
No, but I think Auburn, New Mexico. That New Mexico is
Colorado State. Travis Hunter's trying to get his.
I still need my beer.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll get it next week.
Cool. What are we thinking this week? Where are we?
I don't know. I don't think we can do Bama, Wisconsin.
No, definitely not. Well, unless you want to give me Bama.
No.
We could do Arizona, Kansas State.
Do we want to do Colorado State?
Give me Colorado.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like Colorado, but I know Colorado State sucks.
All right.
I want to do a different game. Let's stop riding Colorado's meat,
Okay.
bro. I don't want to be like
I feel like we
national
should do
media.
like one that like does not matter.
Yeah, let's actually do that. Nathan, scroll up a little bit. I did see one that really caught my eye. So scroll a little bit back down, please. No, we're not doing Morgan
Georgia
State. So
Tech being-
Ohio's gonna beat the shit out of them.
FIU.
How
Florida,
about
Georgia Tech.
Colgate at Akron?
I'll take Akron.
Damn it. I didn't want to do that. Colgate's a fucking FCS school. I thought I'd trick you. No, Bethune-Cookman's also an FCS.
Gardner Webb.
Oh,
Charlotte.
yeah. Let's do Jacksonville State at Eastern Michigan.
I'll take
In
Eastern-
Ysplanty, Michigan.
I'll take Eastern Michigan. Okay, see who gets the first pick.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll do rock, paper, scissors to pick the matchup. Or whoever wins chooses.
We're doing
Either
best
you
of
can.
three again.
Sure.
Okay.
But whoever wins the rock, paper, scissors gets to choose or gets to choose if they want to either choose a matchup or choose their team.
Okay.
All right.
Fair.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. We got scissors versus scissors for the little podcast listeners, of course. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, I'm up 1-0.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, 1-1. It's an even series.
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I win. And I am going to let you choose the matchup.
I choose the matchup.
Yep.
Oh.
What you want, man?
I kind of want to take the Florida State.
Nah, I
Memphis one.
saw you. I knew you would fucking do that. Don't do that to me. Please don't.
Oh man. You know, hey, wait, scroll back up, Nathan. Tulane, Oklahoma.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Give me Oklahoma.
All right, give me
They're a
Tulane.
14-point favorite, and Tulane has not looked good in the last two games.
Give me Tulane.
Yep. Oh, we're doing more?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, I thought you just meant for rock, paper, scissors. I thought that's what you meant for best of three. Okay. No, fuck you. Prairie View A&M's not doing shit to them. Aiden Childs actually had a decent game this week. Let's do App State at Eastern Carolina or East Carolina.
Ooh, I'll take App State.
All right, I think it's a good upset spot for East Carolina. It's in Greenville at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium.
I want to do it so bad, Gray.
Do it, man. I dare you. See what it does to me.
Florida State, Memphis.
Give me Memphis.
Oh,
I have to. I would rather pick Memphis and lose myself than pick Florida State and lose with them. Yeah, I don't want to double lose. I've been double losing all fucking month.
okay.
Damn it. I was kind of like hoping you just pick like a blowout one because I was looking at the favorites down the right the entire time. Yeah, I was looking over there the entire time. Yeah, well, New Mexico is pretty much just Vanderbilt this year. Like all their players left. I feel like Maryland, Virginia would have been a good one as well.
I thought about UCF, TCU.
All right, well, enough about what we were thinking. I'm sure we're well into this episode. We'll do a quick update on where we're at with Sunday Night Football, and then we'll get out of here. What are we looking at?
17-10. Your Detroit Lions are in the lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, so both teams lockstep through the third quarter, 7-7 matchup there. In the third, Detroit holds on to the lead heading into the fourth. Obviously, we are not going to hang around for the fourth because you guys will already know what happened anyways. So, Jared Goff having a decent game. Nothing too flashy, neither in the run game. Matthew Stafford throwing the ball a lot. 23 for 34 up to this point. 228, one pick, no touchdowns. Kyron did run one in that we mentioned earlier. Jameson Williams had that long touchdown we had talked about earlier as well. So I don't think we've necessarily missed too much, unless it was just things that happened on the field that didn't result in scores. All right. Well, I think that's where we're going to stop. I hope everybody enjoyed this full of football episode. Don't know how often that's going to happen. Obviously, MLB playoffs coming up. We're going to be talking about that pretty regularly. But NFL Week 1 in the books. Well, almost. Monday Night Football still to come for everybody. But Week 1 just about over. Week 2 coming up next week. College football almost in full swing. Next week kind of sucks, but Week 4 is one to look out for. Got a lot coming up. So, Colin, what do you want to tell to the people? Not the 4 words just yet. But what do you think is a good recommendation for the people out there? What should they do at the end of this episode?
They should like,
Correct.
comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Maybe share it to your friends.
Fantastic.
Share it to your social media pages. Be like, hey guys, check this out, and then listen to it again until the new episode.
What was that? 2 more things.
Oh, go.
I could think of a
to
lot
our Reddit
more.
page. Submit some
Reddit,
questions.
2&D, A&D short.
There you go, right there. Maybe let's see. It depends. Are you listening? Or are you watching on YouTube?
If you're listening, follow us on the podcast platforms. Rate 5 stars.
Yeah, exactly. What he said.
And, of course, follow us on Instagram to stay up to date with everything as well. That's where we're keeping most of our updates. It's not even really worth promoting Twitter anymore. I'm not using that Twitter very often. But if you need the link to the link tree, it's on Twitter if you want to go that route. But nonetheless, we really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys all enjoyed Luke's video from last Wednesday. If you haven't watched that yet, any of our Premier League fans out there, or anybody that's just trying to maybe hop in on the Premier League fandom, it's obviously a growing thing over here. So if you're trying to hop in, it's a good way to get a refresher on what happened in August and then hop right in when this international break comes back next weekend. So definitely go check that video out. Colin, give us 4 words for the people to think about.
Moon, orange, banana, stuffed animal.
Okay. Nathan, do we have any ideas? So moon and stuffed animal makes me think nighttime.
Yes, and orange and banana is fruit.
Yes.
So we
So
thinking like a smoothie before bed.
maybe some kind of
I'll give you a hint.
maybe bananas Foster.
Orange is not the fruit. Orange
Okay.
is
Orange is the color.
What about like a blood moon or blood orange?
A blood orange, but
What if he's
Orange
eating
is
a
not the fruit.
banana while there's a blood moon?
nah.
Something.
think
I
so.
don't know.
What's something that's yellow and orange?
You don't know.
That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know. I wonder if Colin was trying to
Okay.
describe something with the Rams helmet looks like a banana.
Maybe. You got any? Do you have a theme?
Oh,
Okay.
there is a theme.
Well, then don't say it.
Yeah.
Comment what the theme is in the description. That's how we'll know you watched the whole episode.
Kyron, get in. Nope.
Nope. Kyron just got stopped on the goal line. All right, guys. We'll leave you with that. Enjoy the week. I will see you guys on Friday with Luke for NFL Week 2 preview and a whole lot of stuff as well to talk about. Colin, we'll see you guys next week. We're going to be talking what happened in NFL Week 2 and College Football Week 3 and what's going to happen in College Football Week 4. There's a whole lot to talk about. You'll get it right here. Come back next week. We'll see you guys later. Peace.